I was just in the car for 2 hours. Came back in. Turned everything on. And it looks pretty boring. Pretty sideways. Maybe that's not a bad thing. You like volatility. What about the metals? Staged footage. Okay. Just wanted to make sure this didn't happen at a theater. So I had a chance to check out Keenan Grace's latest video when I was in the car, and I have not confirmed or whatever. I haven't looked into this myself yet, but apparently AMC might be doing more of the distressed company investment stuff. He cited a tweet from Charles Gasparino, though, so I'm not sure. It's hard to discern the tone of these videos anymore. But where is it? Oh, and I watched the Mass Investors video too. Ugh. Here it is. So maybe I'll just go to Twitter and look at it. Are running slow today, that's for sure. Well, he references it up here. My reporting is 100% 100% accurate on AMC and CEOs Adam's new plans. We'll say this about Adam. I have covered all the top CEOs in my career. I've never seen anyone more resourceful in the face of an existential threat to his company. Let's see, did Adam Aron tweet about it? No. He hasn't tweeted anything since last Tuesday, when he said he was in the kitchen preparing crow for everybody to eat who doubted his plan. Must be further down here. Here it is.
You're ready to reconnect, to discover.
Goddamn ads.
Georgia that always has more stories to share and views to admire. Set for your next adventure while you set your own pace to wonder or wander, or whatever it is that makes you feel you. To feel that Georgia feeling,
that Georgia feeling, that good old Georgia feeling.
Found in Georgia moments.
Yikes.
It's time to find yours. So get ready, set, Georgia.
Breaking news, we need to take a look at BlackBerry shares at the moment. They are suddenly down about 10.75% right now. They're on track for the company's biggest one-day decline since June of last year. The Canadian technology company's fourth quarter report did come in below estimates, with growth at BlackBerry's cybersecurity business flat. Year to date, BlackBerry is down 29%. All right, just days ago, AMC chief Adam Aron announced plans to transform the company's business model by seeking more meme stock-powered deals. AMC, of course, has become one of the big two faces of the meme stock phenomenon, right next to GameStop. AMC Entertainment, the big theater chain, shares are up more than 56% since the company stunned investors with the news that the company would acquire 22% of Nevada gold and silver miner Hycroft. Who can predict Adam Aron's next move? Charlie Gasparino has an idea. Charlie.
Oh, here's what we know, okay? And I'm going to say this, by the way, I'm getting some interesting commentary on my tweet.
Why do you even look at that?
I'm sure he is.
Talk about the numbers,
You're a
please.
clown, Charlie Gasparino. Sad to see the apes even felt sorry for you. You're a disgusting human, deserves no sympathy.
You did get some numbers wrong yesterday, Charlie.
Which ones?
Well, number one, you said, you got the gold, we got the shaft, as in the shareholders. Right. The fact is, since that deal was announced, the stock has pumped up dramatically.
How do you know it's going to be long-term
pumped up?
Well, how do you know that Home Depot's acquisition of a certain company that gets it an extended jump isn't
Home Depot
good?
generally buys nails and home fixtures. Adam went out and bought a gold mine.
Okay, well,
let's just be real clear here. I'm going to give Adam the benefit of the doubt here because he has made money off this deal, right? And, you know, they have a whole business model that they think this deal, because they bought it at such distressed levels, that, you know, this is going to work out long term, okay? Here's what's interesting about that deal in the context of what's going forward. What Fox Business has learned is that Adam Aron is going to go to his board and basically say, we want a shift in our business model. We're not getting out of the theater business. We do recognize that the theater business is going to be very tough going forward, not just because of COVID, but, you know, streaming and all the reasons why people are basically staying home and not going into the movies. Therefore, we need to diversify. From what I understand, what sources are telling the Fox Business Network, that he's going to go, he plans, I'm not saying he's going tomorrow, but he plans to go to his board and say, I would like to make 5 or 6 deals like Hycroft Mining. I would like the board to approve the use of, the numbers I hear are in the hundreds of millions of dollars, $100 to $200 million worth of deals, to make deals like Hycroft, which we think buying it at distressed levels. There's a whole business called distressed lending out there and distressed investing. We can make money in the future because we think Highcroft is going to be a no-brainer. We're going to make a lot of money on this in the future, whether we sell the land to somebody else or we keep it and we get financing to drill the gold out because we believe there's deposits there. This thing is much worth a lot more than the pennies on the dollar we bought it out. It's already trading up, as you know.
Well, let's just be clear. They bought it at when they announced that they bought it. It was $1.39. Right. It has jumped 17 days later by 79%.
A little bit of that. Just remember, that's a little bit of that is irrational exuberance. That's not the long-term play he's talking. The long-term play he's talking about, either they sell it to somebody who extracts the gold, or they actually get financing to extract the gold, and it's worth much more than the $1.50 or whatever he paid for it. Right. So, but the bigger story is, AMC is recognizing the movie theater business is going to be tough. They need to diversify more than just selling popcorn at malls. They're going to do, at least Adam wants to do, Aron, the CEO, distress investing. And it's going to be, from what I understand, he's going to ask the board to do between $100 and $200 million of this.
So coming soon to an AMC near you.
The numbers come out.
AMC,
he's
the hedge
talking
fund.
5 or 6 deals. It's very interesting. I will say this about him. Okay, I've covered every major CEO. I covered Jamie Dimon.
He wants to be a hedge fund manager.
Think we've had him on. James Gorman. These are all highly successful CEOs. David Solomon. I've never met someone as resourceful as this guy. He is resourceful. He is fighting. He's fighting back. And what's interesting about him is, from what I understand, and we have a call into AMC's spokesman. He has not gotten back to us. Is he's looking at it like this? I'm pretty good at distress investing because guess what? I bailed us out. He believes that even before the apes came, now the apes obviously bought the stock and gave him currency to do essentially secondaries and all that. But even before that, he believes he saved the company from going into bankruptcy. He basically got loans, secured some lines of credit, and prevented AMC from going under.
Because, of course, at the lockdowns, every theater was shuttered, and he went from revenue to zero.
Right. Okay. So now he believes he's pretty good.
He went from revenue to doubling his bonus.
Companies and what's a company worth saving? He's going to use those skills and the skills of his management team, which obviously have been through the wars right now, to find these distress investing. So how do you play the stock? I don't tell people what to do. I don't believe in the whole notion of the AMC mother of all short squeeze. By the way, Aron does not believe in synthetic shorting, just hurting this company. You should know that. I know that through sources. That is a conspiracy theory. Take that out. Why would you buy this stock? There's 2 ways to look at it, or sell the stock. One way to look at it, it's bad because guess what? Aron is admitting that theater business is going to be tough no matter what. It's going to get better, but it's going to be really tough going forward. But also, he's admitting he survived the worst of it. He's got $1.8 billion in capital. He knows how to do distress investing. The Highcroft deal is definitely going to pay off. That's a positive for the stock. So it's up to you to figure it out. Just don't buy it thinking this is going to be the mother of all short squeezes.
Well, I'm so glad that after shooting from the hip yesterday and missing your target, you're coming back with some numbers, because right now it's a win.
The stock is down. You're wrong about this.
The stock is up 80% over the past 17 days.
It traded at 30 early in the week, and it's at 22, 23.
But the Highcroft announcement, it was at $13.29, and look where it is now.
Now it's heading back down again.
$23.38. What part of the up arrow do you not understand?
Did you not see it at 70?
We're talking about now, Charlie.
Be careful with penny stocks.
I don't need advice. Listen.
She doesn't need advice. Of course she doesn't need advice. Couldn't tell if they were talking about Wyckoff Mining or AMC, but they're both. Actually, I wonder what happens if you do this. There it is. Oh, I bet if we put it in log, no. It doesn't. I was trying to be cool. You can use the log scaling. What the fuck happened now? I messed it up. There we go. Fuck it, let's throw GameStop on here too. Monday was a big day. Big day for the memes. She was talking about BlackBerry. Why? Oh. Oh, I see. Oh. All right. So, I love that big pump at the end of the day on Friday in the market. So what we have, the stock's pretty much flat. Oil is down almost 1%. Natural gas is up 1/8%. Does a longer term look like on natural gas? I was trading it back around this time last year, October, when all this was going on. And then I kind of just forgot about it. So distressed investing, and my mouse just died. All right. Be right back. Okay, good to have a mouse that works. All right, we'll keep our eyes on this. Now, to the really important issues. Where are we at in our road back to 300 subscribers? Ooh, down? Well, that's no good. Oh well. Well. I'm a glutton for punishment. I still love this. I'm just an AMC boy, and I'm trying to make it, but the synthetic shorts are always naked. Island boy hates manipulation. Island boy. Naked island boy. I don't know, but that's hilarious, Peter. Boss Blunts, not going to make it. Is he talking about me or Boss Blunts? I don't know, but I'll like it anyway. I'll like it anyway. 10,000 views total, though. I'll take that. I will take that. 6 deals like Wyckoff. So I actually do have something productive here. Let's go to my history. So I was checking out this interview. I was in the car earlier. I had to run around, do some things. And it's a nice long interview. It has very few views, which is odd. But I've never heard of this guy, Jake the Stock Guy, but I subscribe to his channel because he talked to Peter Tuchman. So let me skip ahead here because he talks about some stuff that's really, really good.
They have diamond hands and do nothing but make money.
Here we go. Yeah.
SPYs, right? Those are the futures on the S&P 500. And so we track 378 stocks in the S&P 500 that are traded here on the floor of the NYSE. And so we try and trade with the information we're given. It's not inside information. There's no, that doesn't exist down here. I know everybody thinks that, we're a bunch of bad guys. We're trying to screw the retail investor and all that. That is not true. Okay. No. We have information that we curate relative to what's going on around the world and the order flow that we're given by customers. And then everybody uses it in different ways. Some people are trading institutional money. Some people are trading hedge fund money. Some people are trading retail money. I've happened to find a niche in a business model I've built with a number of people around me for the last 12 years to trade the S&P 500, and that's what we do.
Wonderful. Yeah, you got something there. I mean, I think that sometimes, just by all these famous guys, Vanguard, forget the guy's name, the founder, he's like just Buffett, Warren Buffett, they don't really pick and choose stocks. They just say buy the indexes and dollar cost average, buy when it's up, buy when it's down. And for long-term investing, I don't know what time frames some of your clients are looking for, if they're more short-term, mid-term, or long-term.
The longest trade I'm in for the clients of my company is 2 hours.
2 hours. Yeah. Yeah.
For my customers, the strategy I trade, they have other strategies, but the one that I'm working with is a 2 hour trade. And that's you're in, you're out, you either make money, you lose money, you're done, you start again tomorrow. And that's kind of driven me into what one of my newest callings is, which is embracing the new retail trading community that came along during COVID and Wall Street bets and Wall Street memes and Reddit and all that stuff. And the democratization of the trading community. And everybody thinks they have diamond hands and do nothing but make money. However, the reality is that 88% of them have already been blown up within the first 2 years of trading because they don't really know the rules. When everything's going up and everybody hits a buy button, it's all fun and good. And they need to know it's not a get-rich-quick scheme. Markets don't just go up. They go down. They go sideways. And so what I've decided to do as my new calling is to embrace them for one and try and educate them for two, right? So I've curated a technical analysis trading course. I am the host. I've collaborated with a friend I've known for 37 years who I started here on the floor with, David Green. We have a course called Wallstreet Global Trading Academy. It's an online course. It's 8 sections, 21 videos, 8 hours, teaching risk management, stop orders, teaching technical analysis, right? Using moving averages and different criteria to use technical analysis, not fundamental analysis, to become a day trader, to use this volatility and the volatility of this market to try and scalp off some nice amount of money if you can and you know what you're doing. It's not something you can't trade on hope, you can't trade on hype, you can't trade on FOMO. These are not trading strategies that will give you long-term, short-term trading, but long-term gains. They won't work. You may go to the well once or twice, you may get lucky, but at the end of the day, if you're not using these techniques that we teach, you're going to blow your ass up.
Yeah.
Boom.
You know what? I'm always trying to learn something new.
Let's hear that again.
FOMO. These are not trading strategies. Nice amount of money and the volatility of this market to try and scalp off some nice amount of money if you can and you know what you're doing. It's not something you can't trade on hope, you can't trade on hype, you can't trade on FOMO. These are not trading strategies that will give you long-term, short-term trading, but long-term gains. They won't work. You may go to the well once or twice, you may get lucky, but at the end of the day, if you're not using these techniques that we teach, you're going to blow your ass up.
Yeah. You know what? I'm always trying to learn something new. So I'm going to, once we finish our call, I'm going to be signing up for your course and webinar.
I look forward to one of our differentiators, which is the fun part, because it's not easy. It's simple, but it's not easy. And it takes discipline. It takes consistency. It takes really scratching the earth of your old habits and learning the new ones, right? And utilizing everything as we mentor our students. So David Green is an amazing teacher. A lot of people out there teach technical analysis. Not everybody can do it well, really be a good teacher. He is a great teacher. So we mentor all our students every Thursday night live, right? We do a Zoom call for the questions and answers that they have, that they've learned from taking the course.
Great. And I'll be sure to link that for all of our viewers listening.
I look forward to it. I'll send you the link.
Yeah, thank you.
WSBTA.com.
Now, Peter, actually, now that we're kind of on the subject of technical analysis, for me, I'm 100% just an options trader, and within options, I actually don't mess around with too many complex options strategies. I don't really do technical analysis.
Okay.
I'm still trying. There's so many different indicators out there that you could utilize, like volume.
Here we go too.
Yeah, but that look, a lot of people fill their screens, with so much shit that it looks like air traffic control at 9/11. It's unnecessary. It's unnecessary. We use three things. We use the RSI, which tells support and resistance, relative strength index. Okay, we use moving averages, the EMAs, right? The 9, the 15, the 65, and the 200, which give you the historic data about where stocks are going to go and where there is, once again, support and resistance. And we use pivot points. Pivot points, you don't need to understand what they are. Pivot points, if you go into Thinkorswim, you can download them and put them on your chart as a dot. They also, in the absence of support and resistance in any other the trade, whether you go from the 1 minute to 5 minute or whatever, you're looking for support and resistance, which is what day trading is all about. A pivot point is a mathematical formula that you plug in, and we keep your screen kind of clean, right? Yeah. There are 5 different trades. There's a trend trade, a moving average trade, a far from moving average trade, a double top, double bottom, and a base trade, right? And you keep it simple. You use the good habits. Every time you get into a trade, you use the stop order. I don't care. There's no mental stop orders. That's horseshit. In a market that goes up and down 1,000 points intraday, you don't use mental stops. You use stops. You can use them in options too. During the day trading, you can use stop orders. This market is, you can be right. You can be right if you're lucky, or you can be wrong. In the old days, I always say it's not your grandfather's stock market. If you're wrong now, you're not wrong for $1. You're wrong for $50. And that will blow up. It's a formula for a disaster, and you'll blow up your account in 1 minute.
You will. Absolutely. Do you find any use in order flow? I personally have never found any use in it.
Not at all.
This is another
in the day,
interesting discussion too.
But in the days that I described in 1985, when you saw the order flow, when you didn't see, look, right now you can use an algorithm that I can have 1 million shares to buy, and I can only display to you 100 at a time. You can never see what the real order is. Stocks are trading, and 90% of trades are 100 share lots. Back in the old days, when you had order flow that was significant, and we put on the prints that I described in the beginning of this call, where 100,000 shares traded, 50,000 shares traded, where you would get the understanding, well, one buyer's done, there are a few more sellers than buyers, we got rid of that guy, now the stock's going to bounce, 1 million shares traded, it was a big print. These are the things where order flow made a difference. Right now, order flow, volume, things like that are absolutely insignificant, in my opinion. It's like VWAPs and stuff like that. There are other things that are able to track technical analysis. We found over time, everyone asks us, why do you use the things we use? Because they work. It's a simple friggin' set. It works.
If it's not broke,
why fix it? It works.
Yeah, exactly. And I would.
So this is another good interview. It's the most recent one I could find is from February of this year. So that's interesting. Also, he reveals that he got COVID and almost died from COVID. So he had to have several surgeries, and he has a lot of lingering symptoms and whatnot. So that's interesting. But yeah. Maybe put this link in the description of this video. Do it live. Fuck it, we'll do it live. There we go. Now, big changes are coming. I wonder.
Hey guys.
Hey guys.
Hope you are all having a great weekend. In today's video, we are going to talk about important things that we need to keep in mind going forward. First and foremost, let's talk about this channel, because there are some significant changes starting this week that you need to be aware of. First and foremost, morning videos are back. The best due diligence, the best explanations and overall information has always been on those morning videos, and though they received a very limited viewership compared to recap videos on the afternoon, much is happening outside of GameStop and AMC that we need to continue talking about. As such, we are going to start making short morning videos, and then for the afternoon videos, what I'm going to do is stick the morning video on those as well at the end of the video once we finish talking about the performance of GameStop and AMC. I think most of you are working in the mornings and just don't have the time to look through my previous videos and look for the morning content. This way, I can serve you the morning content again by stitching it at the end of every afternoon recap and simultaneously satisfy everyone. I have been really looking forward to getting back to morning content and feel it comfortable now that I have Discord set up correctly. Also, I want to thank all the people that have been joining my Discord. We reached 5,000 members today, which is incredible to me. We have had some who have also joined the premium content, which is a server Discord, and passed the 10,000 member mark. Discord using their own link by coming to the raffle. All screenshots need to be posted on the proof of concept channel on my Discord. So, if I posted 2 screenshots of 2 different times where I bought GameStop, will take place for 2 weeks and winners will be contacted and asked for their cash.
God.
All content discussed in this channel is simply information gathered that I deem important for people to know, so that they can make informed decisions. All efforts are aimed to better understand the nature of the current market in anticipation of the greatest squeeze in financial history. Let's dive right in. So, let's begin by highlighting all the big events taking place in the overall financial sector. We have some big companies reporting earnings like Anglo Gold, Exelon and Levi Strauss. We have factory orders taking place tomorrow on Monday. We also have purchasing managers index surveys taking place on Tuesday for the S&P Global Composite. For those that CE inflation data, which suggests that inflation is likely to continue growing for the next 2 to 4 months before it caps out and begins, are still bullish about economic recovery because of unemployment rates falling and because of corporate balance sheets and earnings growth resilience. They say that there are unique circumstances that have inverted this important metric, and that because this is different, it means we are not necessarily headed into a recession since the overall economy, as
So this is cool too. Let me get this stuff off here. You can do is you can do US 30-year. I have to be out of stock because it's not a stock. US 30-year minus US 2-year. Oh, and it's 0.2 year, like that. And it will actually give you this composite ticker. I think that's what they call it. composite symbol, which is pretty cool. That's pretty neat. I didn't know you could do that. I learned that the other day. So what do we got here? So but I think we want the 10-year, not the 30. There we go, but that's also negative as well. I'm surprised that's not all over the news. Why is that not all over the news? It's a 2 in the 10, right? I think it's a 2 in the 10. That's the one everybody cares about. Yeah, 2 and a 10. So is this market, it says market open. Is this, I don't believe that it is. Is it? No. Okay. Also, I wonder, can you do this? AMC minus GME? You can. Wow. That's funny. Or HYMC minus AMC. Kind of goofy. But composite symbols, cool. Alright. So each of the last eight recessions back to 1969 were preceded by the yield on the 10-year falling below the 2-year. Officially recognize an inversion until Friday because they're looking at closing prices. So it actually closed in the negative. The difference despite the track record, some strategists have warned that more context is needed. And you're going to hear a lot about the interest rate hike relative to this, I would say. Here come the price controls. See what else he talks about in here, if anything. Let's get our play-by-play, of course. Let's see what tastytrade said. I better not get copyright strike for that, whatever that is. Or that.
You know, it's sunny out, but it was a little cold this weekend. I wasn't ready for like...
It freaking snowed, dude.
I know. Isn't it April? I thought March. I thought March is supposed to go out like a lamb, and it was cold.
In like a lion, out like a lamb. That's correct.
Yeah, it's cold.
Like you on a Saturday night.
Yeah, it's cold, like walking around in ripped jeans and
I bet in a skirt. Yeah.
Yeah, and no gloves. No jacket.
Gloves, yeah. You were out cold. On Saturday night.
What?
You were out on Saturday night.
Oh yeah, I was painting the town.
Wow, I'm impressed, dude. Good for you.
Yeah,
I'm feeling better. Thank you for asking after having my operation.
Yeah, well, I cut one of my toenails myself this weekend, so I guess that counts as an operation.
Good for you. Good for you.
All right, well, getting ready here for the market. So I was kind of
you got 3 minutes. You got Bitcoin, the only thing that's open right now with obviously with the other crypto currencies. Bitcoin up about 400, Ethereum up about 44 or so.
Yeah, I thought the volume. I looked at the volume this weekend on cryptocurrencies. It was really low. So
Whoa.
When I don't see a lot of trading going on, we're open 24 hours, 7 days a week for crypto. When I don't see a lot of trading going on, I'm just like, there's nothing there.
Even the S&Ps look small bid. They look up 2 right now. NASDAQ unchanged. It looks like an unchanged market size enough.
Yeah, well, you kind of like, it looked like they were trying to attract some bids earlier. They were bidding the S&Ps up like 10 higher. It looked like a couple of minutes ago. Now they're back to like unchanged.
Yep.
I think it's going to be one of those. It's going to be one of those very thin. We started to get thin last week, very thin and whippy. We're at that inflection point here. First of the month, it's been a nice rally. We've sold off
hard. We've rallied back nicely. We cut back half of our.
We've sold off 90 handles.
Yeah,
off the highs we made. So a 90 handle pullback is pretty good off the highs, and maybe there's a little bit more to go. And then I think they probably bounce up, and then we see what happens. I mean, there's nothing good to read about.
There's nothing good to read about. I mean, the final four. You got the final four. You still got it. You had Villanova going all the way. Nice call.
Hey, I went with the dog. I thought they'd cover. They should have covered. They stink. But I had North Carolina too.
Now you got North Carolina, Kansas. You got to be going with the dog again, right?
Oh yeah.
North Carolina?
I bleed North Carolina blue.
You're wearing it actually. Yes.
No, I have to root for my the only person I know that went to the Carolina fan. So went to the game. I don't know anybody else went. I know who Nikki's rooting for. It's like to try to get. I've never been far away, but it must be.
He's decidedly unched down $1. NASDAQ down 21. Russell up $1. Dow down 13. Volatility up 7 cents. It's a nothing burger.
Yeah, I was playing a game with myself to see if I could guess which way.
Is that what it's called now? You playing a game with yourself?
Yeah, I was playing a guessing game myself to see if I could guess which way crude oil would open tonight, because I don't think the market I have any clue. I was just from reading all the news, and it actually opened unchanged.
It's completely unchanged. 99.30 unchanged.
Yeah, it would be so cool if they had a binary bet, like where would crude oil open, up or down? I would say it would have to be like $2 would be my high low. Outside of that, I would have bet. I would think that's probably a reasonable bet. Open unchanged, unbelievable. Yeah, I would say this is a pretty. This would be about as quiet an opening as you can have, isn't it?
This is about as quiet as you can have. Even the S&P just turned green.
Yeah, S&P. Yeah. I mean, there's nothing. There's not much to talk about. I think that. Guess we're going to wait for tomorrow to see what happens. What are bonds doing tonight? Oh, they're down pretty good.
How about this bad news, Sazno? Well, first the good news. I mean, I don't know. First the news. Tesla came out with their car sales. They were right where they wanted, 310, maybe 1,000, maybe a little bit more than was expected. But guess what got canceled, Sazno?
I don't know.
The Cybertruck.
Oh
wow.
It's the world's ugliest car, as Tim Knight.
Oh wow.
They're not building it anymore?
They're not building it anymore. It's done.
What are you going to do?
Well, we knew that.
I'm gonna get my $100 back. What I'm gonna do?
So why?
Ongoing development costs have far exceeded the original budget.
Wait, is it?
Oh, that's interesting.
Elon Musk was very sad to say we've made a tough decision to cancel our Cybertruck.
Wow, I missed that news. So
maybe it was April Fool's.
It could be an April Fool's joke, though. I don't know.
Oh, was that Friday's news?
It was.
Oh,
came out late Friday afternoon.
No. You saw, no. That's a total April Fool's. Oh my God, you fell for that?
Somebody just sent it to me.
Oh no. If that came out Friday,
funny.
That's April Fool's.
Yes, it came out on Friday.
Oh, that's total April Fool's. That's a good one though.
Very good one, right?
That's a good one. Yeah, that's April Fool's. Yeah, I was gonna say if that came out over the weekend, I would have thought that would have been pretty bad news. But I mean, I don't know. But maybe it's good news. Who knows? But that would be. I tell you what, it would be good for if it did come out. It'd be good for Rivian.
Yes. Yeah. Right. Agreed.
It'd be good for the Rivian truck. And what's the other one? The Ford? Is it Ford? Who else has? I think it's Ford.
They all have them. The Hummer has one too, right?
Yeah. Well, good luck getting a Hummer truck. It's about 19. It'll be 2025
before
2030 before you get one of those suckers. Yeah. That I have to believe that's complete.
Yeah. No, I'm sure it is.
But you might as well get your $100 back because at this point, I mean.
Yeah. No, I agree. I know.
You're not getting that truck. You might as well get another Tundra. That's got your name written all over it. That truck's been good to you. You might as well get another one.
It's been real good to me.
It's probably the best car you've ever owned. I would probably get another one.
You're right.
No, I'm not saying like that. I'm not kidding.
No, I know you're right. You're right. There's nothing going on.
Yeah, there is nothing going on.
Yeah, why is that?
I don't. Perfectly priced market.
Yeah, I don't think that's the case either, though. But I do think we've had a nice sell. Right, Pete. I had a question for you on Friday, and I saved it till tonight.
All right, far away.
Well, we don't see you yet. We need to see your pretty face.
Here he comes.
Okay.
There we go.
Sorry
about that.
So I saved a question for you for tonight. On Friday afternoon, we were trying to do a certain number of a different bunch of combinations of the yield curve because the 2s and 10s kind of went negative.
Right.
And
they are negative right now.
They are negative. We hadn't
they went out right on the lows. And you're looking for something that hits new low. Tom, ZT,
right.
2 years on. Yeah.
So I did some 2s and 10s using the small exchange products on Friday. But then I also wanted to do some bigger products. So I did the ZN and the ZT. ZT is the 2s, ZN is the 10s. I did it 3-2, 3 2s, 2 10s, but I wasn't that's
there. 3-2 is going to give you, honestly, Tom, a little bit short, long yields, short notes. 3-1 would actually give you a little bit of playing that the yields are going to hold here, or yields are going to fall, or the yield curve's going to go back from being negative. So
I'm in the ballpark.
Yeah,
I'm in the
you're
ballpark.
definitely in the ballpark.
Okay. It's so funny. When we built the small exchange, it totally makes sense. It's so simple. But that when you tell I've been doing this for 40 years, I still don't know the ratio. Like when you tell anybody else, like I asked Tony, I go, try to figure out the returns on, try to tell me that these two products are inverted unless the TikTok stuff, tell me you're inverted without telling me you're inverted. Tell me this is inverted without telling me this is inverted.
There's no way you could know.
There's no way you could know. Right.
No, 149.08 and 105.17 and 7,256 is a bit of a challenge. That's what's great about smalls is that, do them 1-to-1 if you're trading for divergence or convergence.
Yeah.
And you know exactly what the 2-year yield is, you know what the 10s are. And you could actually, when they crossed, you saw a chunk of business go through CME. just pounding the 2-year note.
It's a chunk of business, but it's not individual investors because there's no way they can.
It's all Instagram.
Yeah. But like I said, well, this is my TikTok, Tony. I don't even know why I'm wasting it on the show tonight. This is Art Pete. Tomorrow I'm sending a team over to do the TikTok with you to basically saying, show me you're inverted without telling me you're inverted. Doing those two things. There's only about maybe a couple thousand people in America that will get that. But that's what we're doing tomorrow. We're going to post that on TikTok. That's beautiful.
I like that. You know what? I just started watching your stuff. I watched because
used cars keep going up and up and up.
I know. I'd hit it and I'd short it. And then a year later, you'd be lucky to get half, right?
Right.
Now, these kids hold these cars for 3 years. I sold it for more than I bought it for. I'm like, what?
Enjoy the bubble while it lasts.
Don't tell him he's getting better because it'll ruin everything. He'll use. Tony has one. Right.
Lisa, boys, we've lost our daylight saving over here. The Parramatta Eels got up for a great win yesterday, which I know you came onto this show wanting to hear about how they played so well yesterday.
Are they back in business? Their summer's over for them?
Well, the NRL's more of a winter game here, so we've just fired up. So it's round 4 was.
Well, these guys know how to hold shit. I'll tell you that.
1900 level. I not that I care. Our gold positions are tiny. I just bring it up because you mentioned risk, and I think it's definitely been, looking at commodity prices, looking at volatility, and looking at the stock market, the rally in the stock market. There's been a risk off over the last 10 days, and it's completely reasonable.
Yeah. So, would you now consider positions that maybe have a bit more growth prospects to them? Maybe looking at just still in a fund sort of scenario. So you're still trading it like a fund rather than an individual stock. Would you like? What do you think of ARC now where the market's sitting? Do you think that's an opportunity at these lows to get in, or do you think that we could still see some downside?
You said ARC?
Yeah, so Kathy Wood's ARC fund.
Like ARKK.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
how to say Kathy Wood is an idiot without saying Kathy Wood is an idiot.
It's more attractive here than it was. I don't like her, to me, she's not a trader. I don't love her methodology, buy high and hope you can buy higher and keep buying higher and then sell low. Like, I don't really get it. So no, I would, like, if you're asking me if I would ever buy it, I mean, would I trade it? Sure. I have a position on in there and I trade it. I sell premium in there. It's fine. Right now in ARKK, we have on the, we're short the 62 puts and the 75 calls. It's a very typical position for us, but would I buy that stock and go long? No.
A lot of stock that she holds in there, like Tesla, Snow. There's a few others. They all have earnings coming on.
I just don't like her methodology. Like, I'm sure she's a smart woman. I just don't love people that, that just close their eyes and buy them. And
I want to see what those calls were again.
Typical position for us. Right now in ARKK, we have on the, we're short the 62 puts and the 75 calls. It's a very typical
62
position.
62 puts and 75 calls. Well, he didn't say how long, but they're usually like 2 months out, I think, is what they do. Probably June. Just taking a look at that here in the option chain. Like 30 deltas. I was just curious. Okay. Let's see what
I'm feeling a little nostalgic, if I could be honest with you, gentlemen. And by the way, I didn't get the memo on the quarter zip. Can somebody include me on the distribution list, please? I need to know what I should be wearing on these Sunday extravaganzas. I'm feeling nostalgic. Do you remember when supply chain issues were limited to a boat stuck in a canal? Remember? Wasn't that so much easier to wrap your mind around? And this idea, it was just a joke then. It was all fun and games. It was all ha, ha, ha.
Yeah.
Now all of a sudden, people are terrified. German grocery store whispers a 20 to 50% price increase. I'm terrified, man. And all the while, You're telling me this is the first time you filled up your car in it's April 3rd. It's April 3rd and you have not bought gas. There's a reason you don't understand the people's pain, my friend. And it's because you're not going to the gas pump and pumping in $100 only to get a quarter of your tank filled.
Hey,
yeah, what he
buy an electric car. I don't care. Get you
$55 to fill
I bought into the Elon. I bought into the Elon dream. What do you want from me?
Yeah. By the way,
let me just say one thing. Let me say one thing about this. So the only reason I got a Tesla originally back in 2015 was, and again, you're going to think this is a crazy Tom argument. It just made this up for whatever reason.
Mm-hmm.
Only one reason I bought a Tesla, because I was short the stock. And I'm like, okay, what is all this? People go like, why you trade? Like, why are you short? Why do you do this? Because you learn from it. So I'm short the stock. They don't make any money. The companies, everybody's writing about how the company has no money. They're going to go bankrupt. They're not going to sell any cars. It's the most ridiculously overpriced car situation in the world, blah, blah, blah. So I'm thinking, okay, well, I'm short a little bit here. I'm getting killed on this position. Yep. Why is everybody buying this? Okay, so I ended up going out and buy a Tesla. Within 2 weeks, I'm like, this is the greatest car I ever owned. I'm never short this stock again.
Now, here's what everybody needs to understand about that little anecdote that Tom Sosnoff just told you. He doesn't even know it. But what he did was just validate fundamentals. In a weird way, what this gentleman just said is that price is the only thing that matters, and he bought the actual product and understood the quality and the vision of this company, and in a weird backwards way, he just validated to you should be paying attention to the Fed minutes this week.
That is not
well done, Victor. Well done.
That isn't even close to what I said. But occasionally, I do have a philosophy that with respect to investing, if you are willing to use your credit card or your cash to do something with some company that you really like, there's a high likelihood that that's not going to be a horrible investment, because generally we have a pretty good idea of what's good in this world and what's not. And there are some companies where I have bought their products and they have not done very well. But for the most part, most of the companies where we really like their products, they've done pretty good. That's as fundamental as I'll ever get.
I have an idea of what is good and what is not. And what is good is when users can freely execute, move security to cash and cash to security. Liquidity is a good thing. You know what's not a good thing? Devaluing and debasing your currency. You know what's not a good thing? The reason why our generation buys a used vehicle and can 3 months or 6 months or 2 years later sell it at a higher price is because we've devalued and debased that currency. And you know what else is not a good thing? Hold on for a second. $100 ham sandwiches. And right now, I do not understand the optimism of the strength of the consumer. Let's explain what disinflation is, okay? Disinflation does not mean that lower prices are on the way, that there's some superhero that's going to make your house more affordable. Disinflation does not mean some superhero is going to come and make it less expensive at the grocery store. Disinflation means things are going to grow at a slightly slower pace, and that is just as painful. So my point is, whether we get a soft landing or a recession, both of those things to a certain group of people in this country are equally horrific outcomes. A soft landing means prices stay high and they continue to go up at a marginal rate. A recession means the people who had nothing to do with that in the first place are also going to take it in the teeth. I would argue, my good friend, that neither of those for a large portion of this population is a good thing.
Can we go back to the $100 ham sandwich? What are you talking about? You lost me at a $100 ham sandwich.
That's my way of, that's my like shorthand of just talking about higher prices. It's easier to just say $100 ham sandwich than it is to talk about 8% inflation, because we all know that's not the current
I got it. I thought you were referring to there's a $100 ham sandwich out there. I was going to be like, wow, that surprised me. But I also didn't understand.
Wants to know why he didn't get ripped off and have one. He goes to all the bougie restaurants. He didn't see one.
$100 ham sandwich is a little rich.
A little rich.
But
a lot of pain out there. And I don't know that we fully... Go ahead.
I didn't understand a lot of what you were just talking about, because you started off with devaluing this, and then you went to $100 ham sandwich. I mean, it was a good rant.
Sandwich, and he was all
the same.
It was a good rant, but I didn't understand any of it.
You know what I didn't watch? I saw it. I'm not going to lie to you. I saw the Will Smith slap. But you know the thing that I kept playing on replay? the Restoration Hardware earnings call. Did you guys get a hold of that earnings call or the transcripts?
No.
Oh my goodness gracious. Please, if you haven't written your cherry bomb, which I know you probably have, just put it on hold before you go and hit the printer presses.
I've already
listen to that thing or read the transcripts. It is a thing of beauty. Now, on one hand, you probably got a Peloton type situation. You probably got a company that sort of overestimated their ability to continue to sell, you know, very expensive furniture into the future. In the same way that Peloton did, they've overestimated it. They believed in Jerome Powell's inflation is transitory. Then all of a sudden, when he said, hey, we're just kidding, we sort of made a boo-boo. He was like, what? The Restoration Hardware's they got to come up with a new game plan. So on one hand, there's probably a little bit of that. And on the
other day, Vic said, you can tell if somebody went to public schools or private schools based on the reaction to the Will Smith slap. I thought that was pretty good, pretty accurate.
On the other hand, there's a CEO who's talking real, who sort of pulled back the curtains to say, like, hey, Janet Yellen told me inflation was going to be 2%. Jerome Powell told me this is going to be transitory. All of a sudden, my supply chains are still a mess. Interest rates are skyrocketing to the moon, and that has a big impact on how I should be expecting my business to perform over the coming months. And I think, my personal opinion, you're going to hear a lot more of that. Probably not as sort of panicky as the one we just heard, but I think that message is likely to be consistent with the messages that we hear on April 13th going forward.
Well, all I want to say is that I bought something from Restoration Hardware 2 years ago, had it delivered, and I bought it new, and they delivered me used furniture. So we sent it back and they said, what the hell is wrong with you? And they go, we'll give you a $500 credit. I go, I don't want your stupid credit. I want new furniture. So
the only thing I can afford in that place is the ham sandwich. Barely, by the way.
Let me tell you right now, that restaurant's beautiful, but it ain't cheap.
No, it is not.
But I don't think it's Restoration. I mean, Restoration Hardware doesn't. They own the restaurant. They own the space, but not the restaurant.
To Ezzy's point, to sort of make this actionable here before I get out of here, I don't love ARC. I don't love I was looking at ARC F, which is their sort of financial or fintech component. I do sort of like, depending on what your investing horizon is, I do sort of like iPay, IPAY, and you're going to barbecue it on liquidity reasons, and you should. But their underlyings are like Square, PayPal, Visa, MasterCard, and American Express. So you're getting, on one hand, fintechs that have just gotten bombed out by 70 to 80%. By the way, they've had a decent recovery. On the other hand, you're getting stuff like an American Express, Discover Financial, MasterCard, those types of things with rising prices and a consumer who got a bunch of stimulus and paid down their debt. You know what they probably continue to do is bring that that credit card debt back up. So you get this mix of things. And I sort of think that's maybe interesting. What I don't love, and you tell me if I'm wrong, I was looking at OCC option trading volumes, the first quarter of this year versus the first quarter of last year. Total volumes increased by like 3%. They didn't get pummeled. They didn't grow at a huge rate. They basically didn't move, up by about 3%. And I'm looking at Charles Schwab stock up trading. Now they sold off the last 3 days, but they made a move up near their highs. And I'm thinking, with a yield curve that's flat and trading volumes that are effectively flat year over year, and every other trading platform that sold off, to me, that's sort of an interesting premium that's been built in. We'll find out whether or not it makes sense or not.
Victor, that is pure short-term rates. Schwab trades off 1 and 2 year paper, and rightfully so. They have a $3 trillion balance sheet and probably the largest cash position in the world, just of free cash flow. That is strictly an interest rate play. Actually, I think the stock has sold off a lot, almost 15%. Yeah. And which is weird given that rates have actually gone higher. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of, I mean, they're incredibly dysfunctional, but inside of that dysfunction, I mean, it's almost like, the amount of money they make on cash, it's, every time rates tick up, just, every 0.25% move has got to be like, 10 cents on to their bottom line. If there's 8 rate cuts, they've got that stock trading at, with, let's see, 8 times, so let's say 50 cents per share. It's probably,
not picking up any business, losing business, the stock still goes higher.
Yeah, they don't even care about trading volume. I think if you look at a company like, Robinhood or something, that's much different. Agreed. When you think about trading volumes. If you look at publicly traded stocks with publicly traded with trading volumes would be like, Interactive Brokers or Robinhood, things like that. Those are publicly traded. But Schwab, I don't look at it that way.
That's true. You got me on that one. I'll put my hands up and say, you got me on that one.
I would have got you on everything. I just didn't understand the other things you were talking about. It was too heavy for me. It was over my head.
Okay, Boomer.
You came in hot.
Stuff is expensive. That's all. We devalued our currency. Stuff is expensive. That's it.
Before you pick on the $100 ham sandwich, there may be a little truffle. All right, I'll take the $19.
Instead of a question, because I already know what you're going to do. You're going to do a WWE takedown on my question. So let me do it as a statement. It's likely this week. I wonder if the minutes, they'll have some whisper towards the balance sheet. We'll get more clarity about what the Fed wants to do with the balance sheet going forward here. I'm
going to do an eye roll.
I'm just saying the consensus narrative is all about interest rates. And I think this week we start to wrestle with the balance sheet. And I don't know that people just sort of put that on the hold for a while. And I think that gets thrown back in the mix this week.
He's Victor Jones. I'm Tom Sosnoff. He's
all right. Let's see the calendar for this week. Factory orders. Balance of trade. Fed speeches Tuesday. 4 of them. Petroleum stuff. FOMC minutes Wednesday. Unemployment stuff Thursday. More Fed speeches. Consumer credit. Wholesale inventories. So we'll have to wait until later to see what happens here. Seeing most of these things lower. So these markets aren't live. All right. Pop back over there, see if there's any change, if it's still mostly boring. Down a little bit. NASDAQ is down a little bit more. Gold's up 0.25%. Oil's down 1%. Natural gas is up 0.25%. It'll be a fun week. It looks like. Might as well end with Jack. I'll end with Jack.
Hey guys, it's Jackson Hunter.
He likes us so much.
AMC stock update. Today is Sunday, April 3rd. Please hit the like button. Please smash that subscribe button. I love and appreciate you all. AMC stock was down on Friday 5.44% in the regular trading hours, ending the day at $23.30 per share on a volume of 65 million. This is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. Please do not make investments based on what I say. in my content. Before we get started, I created a Rumble account. So from now on, all of my content will be published on YouTube as well as Rumble. So go ahead and subscribe to my Rumble channel. There's gonna be a lot of cool content on there, and I will be doing a sick giveaway at 1,000 subscribers. Right now, I have 3. So thank you to the 3 individuals who have subscribed. But let's get that account to 1,000 subscribers, and then I'll do a sick giveaway. Thank you guys. Check this out right here. SoftBank liquidates most of portfolio at NASDAQ whale trading unit. SoftBank has liquidated almost all the positions in its abortive internal hedge fund SB Northstar after racking up between $6 billion and $7 billion in losses in the unit behind the notorious NASDAQ whale trades. Akshay Nahida, the former Deutsche Bank trader based in Abu Dhabi who ran the unit, left SoftBank on Thursday, according to a person familiar with the matter. The 40-year-old is known for executing complex derivative transactions and earned notoriety for spearheading SoftBank's controversial bet on the shares of fraudulent payments company Wirecard. Check this out right here. I don't have a position in this stock. It's HYMC, the Highcroft Mining Holdings.
What does that have to do with anything? What does that have to do with anything? Why did you just read that and not interpret it?
Corporation, which is what AMC Entertainment and Eric Sprott bought into a couple of weeks ago, and I just wanted to highlight the failures to deliver. They're very high on this stock. So I think Aron and Eric Sprott saw something in this company, and I think AMC Theaters likes to play squeeze plays just like the apes do. So just look at the FTDs. Again, I don't have a position.
Well, if that were true, then why the fuck would Aron sell most of his position and all these executives? I mean, seriously. I'll just look at it on FinViz because it's easier. Let's see how many executives recently bought AMC stock. If you see a homeless Kenny boy on the street after Moas, give him food. He's the one who blessed us with this opportunity. Wow. Sale, 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 sale. Sale, 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 sale. There isn't even a single buy on here. There's 0 buys on here. John McDonald, Elizabeth Frank, and Chris Cox even sold last week. They're the smart ones. For a combined, I don't know, $1.5 million. So, I mean, he's trying to develop his grift.
It's just pretty wild to see this. 1 million, 1.5, 13 million in one day, 11 million in one day.
No, that's not what that means. Oh my God. That's not how the FTD numbers work. That's the number outstanding on that day, minus any fails that settled, plus any new fails. That's a cumulative number. But you know, he just sits there and calls me, you know, an anonymous internet retard or whatever he said. Whatever he called me on Twitter before he blocked me. But he's repeating the same stupid misunderstanding about FTDs now on Wyckoff Mining.
6 million, and that's March, middle of March.
Oh, boy.
So pretty crazy right there. And then join us tonight. We're going to be talking about Skatecoin, the cryptocurrency that I'm an ambassador for.
What? Oh, he's an ambassador for the cryptocurrency coin, Skatecoin. Oh, that sounds good. That sounds like a really good venture.
Fully believe in this project. I think it's going to be super sick and have...
You believe in that like you believe in the Moas, Jack?
Longevity in the crypto metaverse web 3.0 game. So join us at 7 p.m. PST on my channel. We're going to do a 1-hour live stream.
That's too late for me, bro.
Sunday night. I love you guys so much. And I hope you
because I want you to buy my shitty coin
with family and friends. I'll see you for tomorrow's update. Peace.
Wow, of course he's got a coin. Is he the first AMC grifter to have his own? Well, he's not really. It's not his really. He said he's an ambassador for it. Oh man. Oh man. Which company has higher failures to deliver? Wyckoff Mining or BBIG? I don't know. Why don't you look it up? But why does it matter? What do you think? You think that's your edge? That's your edge. Finding stocks with high FTDs. That's your edge. That's what made you the GOAT, right? Jesus. I have 4 now? 4 what? Dollars? Yeah, that's a rug pull alert right there. Skate coin. Skate coin. Wow. Skate coin. Love handles. There's not even a news tab for it, so there's probably not much out now. No. Skate coin. Skate coin official. Wax. It's on wax. Centralized skateboarding on wax. Oh, these are NFTs? Wow, cool. Are there some of Jack doing this stuff? I want to see Jack doing a kickflip. What a fantastic thing to spend your money on, right? I mean, these look cool. I'll give you that. That is pretty sweet looking. But that's all you got. And then some random bearings. They're little token. It's an animated spinning bearing. I like that. I like that. Maybe I could come out with these and, you know, incorporate them into my business. Oh. Well, 17 followers. Is this really it? Is that really it? I mean, that's pretty bad. I have more followers than that. Maybe it's this one. I usually go with the one that says official, but maybe it's this one. I guess it's this one. I don't know. I'm just gonna have to think long and hard about coming out with an NFT collection on vacuum cleaners and floor cleaning equipment, scrubbers and burnishers and stuff like that I sell. I mean, that might be cool. There are probably people who would buy it. I mean, we actually had a Segway come into the shop last week. One of our clients is a hospital that they have a fleet of Segways, and one of our guys was fixing it. It was pretty cool. But I have to think about that. The NFT, the vacuum the floor care collection. Yep, it looks like a scam coin. You know, just put some stuff out there that, you know, appeals to certain, you know, interests and see what happens. Why not? I guess, right? Why not? But free. These are free? Why are these all free? I don't really understand how this works though, so I'm not even gonna pretend to understand. How about that though? The vacuum collection. The hard floor collection. I think it could work. Who's Pantheon? Oh my God, that's so long. Why do you need an hour and a half to explain illegal synthetic / counterfeit shares? Where do they keep coming from? All revealed. Man, that's way too long. Proof of insider trading from, see here, Tom Zazzulo gets it. 5 minutes. Under 6 minutes.
All right, everybody, I think it's time for us to start thinking about doing something a little bit more radical with this AMC gamestop manipulation that is going on in the market. Now, obviously, buying and holding...
Like move on? Like learn how to trade and go to something else? Well, what are you talking about? More radical? Oh, geez. I don't like the sound of this.
You can do. But beyond that, there has to be some outlets for us to get this ball rolling and for us to kind of start toppling the system. And so today I wanted to come up with a plan of
toppling the system
to actually make a difference in the trajectory of this outcome. And what I decided on was we need to...
This is what happens when you start with a flawed premise that's not based on fact and sit around and watch reality happen that doesn't match up with your fantasy. And then you keep sitting around and you got to think about how can we, you know, how can we raise awareness and how can we get people to take notice. And this is what happens. And this is not going to have a good outcome. I could tell you that. We know that. But, and I'm not just talking about the accounts being blown up. That's all I'm going to say.
A real actionable offense that is very clear and blatant that Citadel has taken part in with trading.
Come on, blatant. That was last week's word. Blatant. You got to find a new word.
Seeing GameStop. If we can find a real offense that is very crystal clear to regulators, we can report this on a mass scale, starting with this video, and hopefully we can share this information.
All right, so what is it then?
We don't have to share the video, obviously. I know some people don't want to share YouTube videos, and that's totally fine. But we do have to share this information and get tens of thousands of people to report this
because you guys are silly.
Crime.
That's why.
And in that,
they don't want to be associated with it.
Make a difference. So I started looking for a really crystal clear crime that we can report. We know that there's a plethora of options, but some of these crimes are somewhat difficult to explain, and they can be very hard to prove.
Oh, that's what you're going with.
So what we're going to do here, if you want to do this, and I think that we all should, we're all going to be reporting an insider trading tip to the SEC. And this has to be something that's very crystal clear, something very easy to prosecute, something very easy to prove as well. And luckily we have that perfect opportunity here just as of a few days ago.
Okay.
So earlier this month we had this really, really interesting situation surface where GameStop fired a consulting firm, Boston Consulting Group, due to the fact that they alleged that Boston Consulting Group was helping Citadel with insider trading on GameStop. And what actually became...
That's what the people on Reddit were saying. I don't know if GameStop was saying that. Were they? I don't...
The situation, as we started digging deeper into it, was it turns out that multiple different people worked for both Citadel and BCG, or Boston Consulting Group, all at the same time. This is a list of people who all work for this group at the same time. And on top of all...
They worked for BCG and Citadel at the same time. They have 2 full-time jobs. They work for a consulting firm, and they work for Citadel, a market maker. No, it says here, former BCG, former Citadel Securities, former BCG. What is this guy? Well, really, I want to go back and hear that again.
Was it turns out that multiple different people worked for both Citadel and BCG, or Boston Consulting Group, all at the same time. This is a list of people who all work for this group at the same time. And on top of all of that, we have a very crystal clear allegation that...
Like, clearly it says former, and some of them are former Citadel and former BCG. So you don't know when these people work there. So you're saying they work at Citadel now, they used to work at the same place. Yeah, welcome to the business world.
All of that
will change
jobs. We have a very crystal clear allegation that, let's try to find it here. We have a very crystal clear allegation that GameStop says that BCG furnished the data necessary to determine certain profit improvements. So this is the smoking gun that we're looking for. Obviously, there's already a big community of people who recognize that this is a very clear smoking gun, but surprisingly, there hasn't been a lot of action taken on this situation. And I know the SEC is not perfect. It obviously is very involved in this manipulation, but we can make a difference altogether if we all work together to report this crime at the same time, because this is the perfect scenario. Obviously, it would be great if we could report the naked shorting and all of the market manipulation.
All the stuff we don't have proof for.
It's kind of a convoluted process to explain that whole scenario, and on top of that, there's not a ton of real
dude, you are showing a screenshot from a Reddit, not only from a subreddit, okay, but you're showing one that has a crayon crushed into a line as if it were cocaine being snorted with a dollar bill at the top as the header image. Like, it's, yes, people don't want to share the videos. I wonder why. I mean, that's funny. I think that's funny. That's cute. It's funny, whatever you want to call it. But that, you know, this is child's play.
Very easily understandable evidence. There's a lot of evidence, both...
Not the cocaine reference. That's not child's play.
Beneath the surface, but as far as a quick online tip, I think it needs to be something that's very easy to explain, and insider trading is something that the SEC takes very seriously. So I actually put
How is
together
it insider trading, though?
For what we can all report, and I will link
because
this,
they work for a market maker. Do you understand what the market maker does? This is a fundamental thing that I think never really, you know, Citadel Securities is the market maker. They would not have short positions. It's not what market makers do. They don't take on positions. They facilitate the market, making the market. And if they need to sell stock because one of their customers wants to buy it, sometimes they have to sell it before they get their hands on it. That's the market maker exception to naked shorting. If they want to, you know, if they want a customer of theirs wants to buy it, then they buy it. But it's so sloppy. This is such a sloppy narrative. I bet the SEC interns are also tired of hearing about this shit. I mean, Jesus Christ, man. Insider trading. Let me crispen this up a little bit, if it will. So you put all the names, are all people with associations to both Boston Consulting Group and Citadel Securities LLC. Citadel Securities also owns Boston Consulting Group. Oh, do they? I don't know about that. I don't. I mean, says it was founded in 1963, headquartered in Boston. It's one of the big three. Here we go. Who owns it? Doesn't say. What is this manual? Boston Consulting Group hiring. Oh, SEC. Ha. Nice. Controversy. Notable current and former employees. There's a page for that. Yeah, they must be keeping the SEC busy. I wonder if any of these names are on his little list here. Anthony something with an S. I don't see it. Who are these people? John Legend. Really? He worked for BCG. Probably a different one. These are just people. Stock. Boston Safe Deposit and Trust Company. He's saying that they're owned by Citadel. Of course, the first thing that comes up is from Reddit, Frank Nez. Now, what about this? David Apollon. Boston Consulting Group. Whoa. David Apollon is Office of the CEO at Citadel Securities. Citadel Securities, Office of the CEO. And that doesn't mean that they own. This is not relevant. Let's just do this. Are they I don't even think they're publicly traded, are they? Privately owned. So you're not going to find, I mean, good luck finding that. Insider trading. Citadel Securities took part in short selling GameStop. I mean, even that. Took part in short selling GameStop. Citadel Securities. Yeah, they're the market maker. They're allowed to naked short it if they need to because y'all retards keep buying it. While at the same time, Boston Consulting Group was consulting GameStop Corporation. Boston Consulting Group furnished the data necessary to determine certain profit improvements from GameStop Corp before the information was public. This information was used by Citadel Securities to an advantage to their market participation. Boy, that's some revisionist history. No, what actually happened was Keith Gill put out DD about GameStop and said, this company, blah, 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 right? And then the pandemic happened. Well, the pandemic was already going on. And this company is heavily shorted, and There's, you know, brick and mortar is closed and yada, yada, yada. That was what happened. Because, I mean, profit improvements? What are you talking about? I mean, that's going to go nowhere. We all know this. This is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. What, that profit improvement? No, not that profit improvement. This profit improvement? Oh, no, not that profit improvement. This profit improvement? Well, the whole thing was practically over by that point. This was in June. This profit improvement? No. That profit, you know, and the only reason this is probably, it's right around the time when everything was happening. That profit improvement? No. This profit improvement? No. None of this profit. Profit improvement here? No. Profit improvement there? No. Oh, that one? No. What are you talking about, dude? What are you talking about? Man. Did you suffer a loss? No. Well, okay, that's good.
In the description, and then I will paste this exact paragraph in the description. I'm trying to make it something very short, something very crystal clear, and something that will be very easy to look up and to research. Okay. So all we need to do is click the insider trading bubble, choose a relationship to a company when it comes to the best describes the complaint. Is this supplemental information to a previous complaint?
There's no evidence.
No. And then paste this information here. You can add stuff if you want, obviously, but there's also an additional box below to provide additional details, and that might be good for links and evidence and just supplementary information. But beyond this, all we got to do is
we don't have a link to that.
Fill out a little bit more information about ourselves and who we're complaining about. But the most important part is right here. I really think that this can be an actionable, real process that we can.
These people have never even looked at what the SEC enforcement actions. I guarantee that they've never actually gone to the SEC Office of Enforcement's webpage and looked through the actual actions to see what they do. Because this is beyond flimsy. This is not what they do. Like, there's no evidence here. First of all, it's just a bunch of, you know, pissed off children. Did you suffer a loss? No, but I didn't make money. See, that's the thing. I didn't make money. I should have made money by now. Oh, what a joke.
Follow, where if enough people report this information, the SEC will have no other choice than to at least take a look into it. And this is a scenario where it's very clear what happened here, and this is something that I think the
what does this have to do with AMC?
Will probably take seriously, even though they have these problems here with Gary Gensler and with their management. I know problems
Oh, okay. I thought it was actually going to...
Here with Gary Gensler and with their management. I know that they have problems, but I think this is still something that can work out for the best if we all come together. So like I said,
please see the attached Reddit post.
To share this information. I don't have enough sway on my own to just get the ball rolling. I need people to share this information, get the word out there.
Why don't you talk to Wes Christian?
We've been having a lot of people share information in the previous videos, and that's something I've really
I wonder why that went nowhere.
Again, I'm not trying to get you to share the video.
Why don't you talk to Dave Lauer? I wonder why that went nowhere.
It's
none of this shit ever goes anywhere.
Outside of this video, just this information alone on Reddit or in different avenues.
Both of those guys,
feel free to
Dave Lauer's more so than the Wes Christian. Although Wes Christian, is it Christian or Christensen? Wes Christian, he went on Matt Kohrs' channel a few times, but then he kind of disappeared. And then Dave Lauer, we all know Dave Lauer, and like he likes to tickle the Abe's balls is the thing with him. Like he likes this because he's never, nobody knew who he was before this. Now he's like a savior. He's like a messiah, because he provides that that hope of everlasting life. So of course he's going to milk that. And again, that's why I got blocked by him on Twitter too. But I'm saying, like, why don't, yeah, Alex Jones should join the apes. I mean, maybe he already did. I don't know. But I don't even think, like, I don't know what Alex Jones what he actually believes or not. People like, I don't know. But what about Charles Payne? He was supposed to be, you know, why don't you get this to his, you know, do you think he'll do anything? Or do you think he actually knows, you know what, actually, these people are just uninformed investors. But, you know, I can get some ratings out of it. I can get some views. I can get some ratings. Yeah, I can boost my company's thing. But, you know, I guess he is probably blind to a broken man's dream. But, you know, he wasn't blind enough to it last year. But, of course, it was like, you know, it was really a phenomenon last year. Now it's just like, well, to me, it's just annoying. And it's like, God, I don't know how, you know, why would you focus on this? Why would you focus on this? And there was another part of this. I wish I could find it, but I don't want to go through the whole thing. But he was talking about, how you can blame, how people, blame everybody but themselves. And it was just like, wow, this is awesome. This is exactly the thing. But yeah, I don't know if I can find it here, but it's a long interview, but it's worth listening to the whole thing. Actually, yeah. Anyway, Tom Zazzulo. Wow. Charles Payne wanted to upsell the apes to his trader's course. He saw a whole new client base with the apes. That's why he got behind them. And I wonder how many people he got to do that. And if nothing else, he got boosted his ratings on Fox. You don't hear too much about him anymore, though, do you? Culture war stuff. Dogging Biden and misspelled believe. Even CNN, it's just like garbage. Even CNN is forced to admit that inflation is hitting the lowest income Americans the hardest. And then somebody else has this here. Why inflation can actually be good for everyday Americans and bad for rich people. Still can't get Gary Gensler on the show. Okay, so he did talk about it on Friday. All due respect, if Mr. Payne didn't tweet it, then I don't believe it. We have adult kids still playing April Fool's games during the biggest financial movement ever. Hashtag AMC, hashtag GME. And he retweeted that. So I guess he still is. Wow. Canceled Disney Plus last night. He retweeted that, I'm sure. Very quickly. The Disney controversy. Aye. the war on fossil fuels. A lot of stuff about the war on fossil fuels. The war on Biden's war on oil. Chart school. Next. Next. It's typical right-wing propaganda after a Democrat gets elected, after a Republican has been in office, and, you know, it's just, you know, ridiculous. He's a financial Al Sharpton. AMC and GME is Charles Payne's Tawana Brawley. Yeah. Oh, man. Oh boy, here comes the feign concern for retail investors. Meme stocks are up and people could lose a lot of money. After showcasing and promoting hundreds of SPACs and IPOs that ripped off the investing public, some of these commentators should sit this one out. Hashtag phony baloney. I mean, you could turn that back around to him, right? It's just the same, all the same stuff. Out of touch, cringeworthy, embarrassing, and another example of why the Federal Reserve sucks. Can't wait for DeFi revolution. Of course you're going to get that kind of stuff from Bloomberg. Yeah, everybody will forget about the controversy if the stock price keeps dipping. I haven't even really paid attention to it, to be honest. Is that their all-time high ever? Probably. Oh, yeah. Imagine buying Disney in the 2000s for like 20 bucks. Personally, I think it would be awesome if Disney fucking shoots to the fucking moon. I think that would be awesome. I mean, it'd be awesome either way. But who the hell knows? I mean, Florida's a fucked up state. Just gonna say that. Florida's a fucked up state. This is recent. Technicals say sell, the analysts say buy. Right. Disney managed to upset liberals and conservatives at the same time. That is an accomplishment. That is an accomplishment. That is the accomplishment these days. Wow. I mean, I'm not even sure what the latest is on this here, but I didn't want Disney Plus, though. God damn it. Oh, and now we have, we have all the Walt Disney bashing now coming out. Walt Disney actually lied about creating Mickey Mouse. Okay. Guests believe Walt Disney is rolling in his grave over the state of parks. Okay. Wouldn't approve of what's happening right now, Rep MULN says. It's on Fox Business too. Oh, they love this. God. Like, if there's anything more fake in the world than Disney, anything Disney does, their whole thing. Marjorie Taylor Greene owns stock in Disney, which she says is, quote, pro-child predator. What? Of course she owns the stock then. But they got 6 Oscars last week. Candace Owens calls for boycott of, quote, pedophile Disney. My God. Yeah, I know that controversy is about the don't say gay law. I know that much. But what, pro-child predator? Has accused the Walt Disney Company of sexualizing children. Okay. This is supposed to be the happiest place on earth, a place where innocence is celebrated, but it seems to be the place where innocence is actually under attack. Under attack. Walt Disney, they need to pay a serious price for this. She didn't mention that she's a Disney investor, of course. Of course not. Of course not. Entering 2021, she owned between 1,000 and 15,000, and she added more in August and more in November. Okay. Disney is against the bill, but liberals want the company to do more. Okay. Makes sense. I mean, it's not like they can leave. They could just leave the state. I mean, I guess they could, but they should. No, they couldn't come to Ohio. Go out to California. Just, Walt Disney World, Walt Disney Land. It's not really a lot of space, I guess, but I don't know. Interesting one. When asked by Insider about her Disney stock, she just declined to address her ownership. The Congresswoman said in an email Friday that, quote, anyone who opposes anti-grooming laws like the one in Florida is a pro-child predator. A pro-child predator? That doesn't even really make sense, but a pro-child predator. They're like, I know what they're trying to say, but it's just weird. Where is it? I lost it now. Is pro-child predator. Pro-child predator. Child predator. I get it. Anti-grooming laws? Of course she didn't address whether members of Congress should be able to buy stocks, because she thinks that they should, obviously. That's how these people talk out of both sides of their mouths. Sit there and bash a company on one hand, and on the other hand, you own the stock. Secretly profiling. Okay, hypocrisy. Legislation known as the Parental Rights in Education Bill. The law will limit teachers' instructions about instruction about sexual orientation and gender identity is now law in Florida. While defenders say it will apply only to teachers and students in kindergarten through 3rd grade, critics say the bill may extend further because it contains ambiguous language banning such instruction, quote, in a manner that is not age appropriate or developmentally appropriate. Good. That's awesome. That's what we need, is more ambiguity in laws about cultural issues. Ron DeSantis, boy, he's a real piece of work, isn't he? A nationwide trend to cut parents out of their children's education. Yeah, because most parents are like, that's why, I don't know. Oh my God. In Florida, we not only know that parents have a right to be involved, we insist that parents have a right to be involved. He's up for re-election this year. Protect children, support parents. Wow. Florida. Fuck me, Florida. Jesus Christ. Because it would be so bad. It would be so bad for kids to know that people are different, right? Well, why don't you make a rule? Why don't you make a law in Florida where you can't talk about black people? That would be that's the kind of law that I think Ron DeSantis could get behind. Let's have that law, right? Don't say black. Don't say Asian. Why not? Why not? If parents don't want their kids to know that there are black people in the world, then that's their right as parents. I'm kidding, of course, but come on. Like, they really care about parents and families. Florida, yeah, it is a conservative state. It's crazy. I mean, I'm from Ohio, though, so, you know, we're the Florida of the Midwest. That's what we say around here, the Florida of the Midwest, because it's just as bad. I think in Florida it's worse because they have all the hot weather. You know, I think that messes with your mind after a while, personally. Because I know the cold weather does here for us, so. You know, it snowed yesterday again. Ridiculous. They relaxed their thing, their social distancing stuff, critical race theory. I don't even think they know. I don't think that. I think they don't really even understand what that is, what that stuff means. There was I think it was Jon Stewart. Was it Jon Stewart or was it? John Oliver last week tonight. I can't remember if it was one of those. I think it was Jon Stewart, though, on his podcast, and he talked about critical race theory and showed a lot of misinformation and stuff like that. But anyway, yeah, I forget that, Manuel, that that you live there. So obviously not everybody is crazy anywhere, but man. I'm way past everything now. I mean, after hearing that Marjorie Taylor Greene owns so much Disney stock, I guess I'd be on the side of preferring it to collapse. Because if she owns it, then probably a lot of other people in Congress do. I mean, it's a popular stock, but I do think it would be hilarious, too, if it went to the moon. Trading with Emotions live. Oh, boy. This is going to be terrible, probably.
So not specifically like for it to get to its current price, that remember, like, market cap has a lot to do.
So far, this is great.
Market cap has a lot to do with how these two behave, right? When we get that run, this is going to come down to two things. Like, if we get another cycle, then it's likely we might be respecting some of the fib levels that we have in the past, right? So a lot of the fib levels do call for that, 260
look at that
level
background.
But that would be
that is so distracting.
Based, and that would
look at him too.
They open up these gates, people go in on it, and then they basically short the price at that level. But if this squeezes, then that's out of the picture. We're not using the cycle anymore, and we're also not going to rely on anything, because at that point, dude, that ripple effect, nobody's going to be able to tell you what this is going to. Like, this thing can go to, past 1,000, past 5,000. Nobody knows.
Oh, well, that means it could also go
not even the hedge
to
funds
zero,
know.
though.
Like, that's a crazy thing, because
could only go to zero.
They're against each other, bro. Like, some of them do coordinate certain things, even though they're illegal. But there are certain like languages that you can sort of trade back and forth on trading, and like that's just what I believe. But it's
where's the evidence, though?
They're trying to take each other down. They're trying.
That's
to take
because
each other down.
you trade with emotions, so you don't need evidence. How do I get rich quick?
Yeah, and
is that real?
And that's true. You need volume. You need volume for this to go up. I believe that.
Well, that's good.
With the especially on that green candle, that nasty big green candle, we had 226 million in volume. Okay, the next day, we went up to 34 right away, and we came down. We still had 212. The following day, got a little bit shorter. We got 95, then 89, then 65. Right. So on Monday, I expect it to be probably a little bit higher than 65.
Somebody asked, how do I get rich quick? And then their answer was, he just told you how, 145 call. Oh, my God.
It depends on this play. If we get enough volume...
Over 200 people are watching this garbage.
Decides to go, that's fine. And this thing will go at that point if the volume does surpass that threshold that, these algorithms have. This is really a conservative approach, if I'm being honest with you. The projector pattern is a conservative approach, but it's also something that
projector pattern
I've been talking about here for a little while, so it
hasn't come true yet.
Inconsiderate of me to just stray away from this idea and just talk about something else that I don't necessarily not that I don't believe in, but that I don't think is more likely to happen. If it does happen, I'm gonna root for it, and we're gonna be here and we're gonna rally, because either way, dude, that's what I want. That's what I want in the end. But if you're on this channel,
it's what
I'm
you
telling
want.
you just what I'm thinking here, so that if this is able to, be a little bit less risky and actually play out because of the cycle and because of just the way
the cycle
structured, then I prefer to do it that way, man. Remember, this isn't just all going to be hype until we go up.
My April 1st call burned to the ground. Well, no shit. No fucking shit. I could have predicted that. We could have had a prop bet on that, and we would all over here. We would have won.
Responsibly, at least on this play. And again, not saying that's impossible, but just by the look of it and what I've seen in the past, what seems to be the most likely thing is that we just chill it out for a little bit, man. It's not even that, like, guys, it's not like we're gonna, if we respect this support line and we actually do end up doing this, I mean, this is calling for 2 weeks, all right? 2 to 3 weeks of just volatility.
Watch all my videos, subscribe to the channel, come to my website for the next 2 to 3 weeks, free beer in 2 weeks. That's how you hook. That's how you do it right there. Come up with an arbitrary time frame. What's up, Ziggy? How you doing? I hope 21 or lower on Monday would be nice.
So I'm Central. I mean, anytime I do post times, I do say Central, just so you guys can convert that and stuff. But Yeah,
but that's
again,
for my own personal reasons.
If there are people here saying stuff like that, that's dumb. I would never say that to anybody, and I say this with all my heart. I would never post anything that looks bearish on AMC because I don't believe in that. I don't believe that people should just be like I saw this over the weekend, and it was kind of like upsetting,
even if it's
but
true,
like, I saw a bunch of thumbnails and titles of like they're telling you to sell or like stuff like that, and I'm like, no, fuck no, I'm not gonna post that. Like, have a different approach. This isn't that play. This is an optimistic play.
Be bullish. Be a perma bull
in the end, no matter what.
That takes a lot of fucking courage,
but
kid.
If you can in your stream or
if you can in your stream, it takes a lot of courage to be bullish all the time. It really does. What the fuck?
You've already done your part by giving that information to your following, to your audience, and
yeah, that's why you have such a following, is because all that you do is peddle hope. It's all that you do. Jesus fucking Christ. What are the earliest videos on here? That's what I want to see. I need AMC price to go up. You should go in there and ask that. Is that the comment you put in there? AMC, the cycle song. AMC, I will survive. Why the cycle works. So he's a Johnny-come-lately. He's a Johnny-come-lately, essentially. He's been talking about this. His oldest video is from 4 months ago. There it is. There it is. He didn't even read it. Oh, what a doofus.
Down here, you would have made a lot.
Manual, what's your average?
There's good ways to manage your risk.
Oh, shut up.
You have.
Shut up. The apes don't care about managing risk. Come on. There's good ways to manage your risk. Yeah.
At the end of the day, it also helps the system. Anybody should learn it if you really want to make more money, right? More money. But either way.
God, all of his random clicking and scrolling and zooming and shit is giving me. I need to take some Dramamine.
Especially if you're averaging, right? And then once this thing goes,
yeah, average down. That's a winning strategy. Everybody knows averaging down is a winning strategy. Go fuck yourself. I mean, come on. Wow. If I ever get 200 viewers on a live stream, I don't even know. I'll do it. I'll do the live stream naked. It doesn't matter. I mean, I used to. I'm not even going to go there. $69,420 a share. Yes. Okay. Stock J. God damn. But here's a price prediction. Here's one though. Here's one. Here's a good one.
Today is Sunday, tomorrow is Monday, so that means it is time for a price prediction.
It's good that you know that.
Today is Sunday, tomorrow is Monday, so that means it is time for a price prediction video for AMC stock. Last Sunday, the price prediction video was on point, spot on. So let's try to keep that same level of accuracy.
What about the last 3 out of 5?
It's never a guarantee. It's simply what the data is telling me that I can relay back to you guys. Now, almost equally as important as the price prediction segment of this video, we have a lot of breaking news that is coming out. We also have very important data points and catalysts for this week that we absolutely must talk about, not only because it'll affect AMC, it'll affect the broad markets and some other trades that you guys are also invested in. So we're going to dive into all of this information. I do apologize ahead of time if this video is a little bit on the long side. There is just a lot we got to cover, and I do highly recommend you guys stay and watch the whole video, because how do you know how to make an accurate decision if you don't know all the information? It's kind of a necessity. So let's get into it.
I agree with that. It is a necessity, Tyler.
Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, do what you guys got to do in that regard. Also, if you guys want to come join the private trading group, link down below in the pinned comment to do so for that one, whether you the place to be. Now, let's get into exactly what is going on. Let's first off start with the breaking news, because we really can't go over a price prediction for AMC if you don't know what's going on around the world, what's going to affect the markets. And I'll tell you guys right now, if you have not noticed, the markets are very, very sensitive to Russia, Ukraine, as well as geopolitical tensions, even more so right now, because we don't really have the Fed, the next FOMC meeting until May 4th. So there's a lot of time. There's over a month until the next Fed meeting, and there's a lot of time to see things evolve. So you're definitely seeing a precedent coming from these international headlines, let's call it that. Now, it says, North Korea warns Seoul of serious threat over missile remark. The influencer sister of North Korean leader Kim Jong-un called South Korea's defense minister a scum-like guy for talking about preemptive strikes on the North, warning Sunday that the South may face a serious threat. So, not good in that regard. Not good. I don't know if the markets will directly
sell AMC then, what you're saying.
Trade off of that. I don't know if there's going to be fear based off of that, but you got to add it in here when we're talking about
based on what's happening in the futures. I'm going to go with I don't think this was the reaction that we would have if there was impending nuclear war. That's just my opinion, though. I don't know. You know, the market works in mysterious ways, but yeah. Fear-based trading is not the smartest way to
news
go.
That is coming out.
That's like trading. That's trading with emotions. That's in his realm. It's literally in his wheelhouse, because that's an emotion.
Not a good thing. But the main key of breaking news is really Russia and Ukraine, as well as what Fed Williams just said. So, New York Fed Chair Williams says Ukraine war could aggravate inflation. The Federal Reserve could start trimming its balance sheet as soon as next month. Next month, guys. Not good. Balance sheet and reducing the balance sheet, no bueno. Whenever you hear that, think
no bueno. What is that Spanish, Manuel? No bueno. No bueno. Okay.
No good. Markets not gonna like that. That's what you need to know, because during 2019, that was really the only time we ever.
I'm gonna go out on a limb, and again, if we had the prop betting, and I cannot believe I can't find a platform to use. I know what it means, man. I'm just being retarded. I still can't find a platform. I scoured GitHub the other day looking for something. And I really couldn't find nothing I could demo very easily. But if we did have that, I would put this up and let you all bet on it and make money off of me saying, do you think he would read a comment that I would leave, or I'm sorry, a message in the chat over there on TWE? And I would say, I don't think he would. So that's my speculation. No, I don't think I can take. My stomach is like uneasy from all that scrolling.
Decrease the balance sheet in a.
But if there were money on the line, I would do it. The guy says if you pay him, he can make it rain. You pay him. If and when it rains, he takes the credit. If and when it doesn't, he comes up with reasons for you to pay more. Boom. And I got copy struck on that too, from the video last live stream. I actually got 2 on that one. The video is still there. It's just unlisted. So if you have the link to it, you can get to it. But Anyway, yes, rain made.
Somewhat meaningful way, only a couple $100 billion, right?
So he's trying to make these associations between, like, quote unquote breaking news and the market, and you just, like, that's a fool's errand. I'm sorry, that's a fool's errand. Doesn't work like that.
And
all this shit has been priced in already. I can guarantee you that. So and the fact you didn't see, you're basically seeing flat lines in the futures, down a little bit, gold up a little bit. Oil is still down. It's still down. Natural gas, however, but nothing shocking. Yeah, it doesn't really work like that.
Look what happened in the markets in 2019 because of us reducing that money off the balance sheet. It was a very rocky year overall, but look what you see in 2018, 2019 crash. That was right here. The markets took a sharp move to the downside. So that's going to be a big
and
thing
then what
that I
happened?
think markets will actually pay a lot of attention to. Now,
I love when they talk about macro stuff
because it's very short and it provides you a lot of context to why this potentially could affect the markets. So it says, the Federal Reserve could start trimming its balance sheet as soon as next month. New York Fed Chair John Williams said on Saturday during an event hosted by Princeton University, Reuters reported. Inflation at 6.5% is currently the central bank's greatest challenge, Williams said. He said it could be driven higher by factors including the pandemic, war in Ukraine, and labor and supply shortages. Quote, uncertainty about the economic outlook remains extraordinarily high, and risks to the inflation outlook are particularly acute, Williams said. Still, Williams expects rates increases and balance sheet reduction should help bring inflation to about 4% this year. Those actions should enable us to manage the proverbial soft landing in a way that maintains a sustained strong economy and labor market, Williams said. Both are well positioned to withstand tighter monetary policy. So that's going to be, I think, a big thing the markets react to. Anytime you see a Fed voting member coming out and saying they're going to start selling off their balance sheet, like, it's not a good thing. Let me put that into perspective.
Okay.
You've never seen the Fed.
Well, that's actually not what Ken Fisher says. So, and I would trust him over this kid. But, that's, I don't know. I don't know. I just don't even know anymore. Oh, yeah, Lou's still making videos. Are you kidding? Yes, he definitely is. He definitely is. I watched one earlier when I was in the car, and he was talking about something. It's hard to even, I don't know. About institutions who lend shares out and they don't, if the shares aren't returned, which is like, why wouldn't the shares be returned? They're under a contractual obligation to return them. So, and how often does that happen? I personally don't know, but that would be something I would look into if I were to actually take this with any seriousness. If the shares don't get returned, and then the institution has to buy them, but they have to buy them at the original price that the stock was when they were lent, not what any current price may be, which makes no sense. If you have to buy something, you're going to have to buy it at whatever the market price is at that time, at the time that you're buying it. So I honestly, it was like 3 minutes I'll never get back. Seriously.
Substantial.
But yes, he is still making clickbait.
Decrease their balance sheet in the way that they are going to.
Balance sheet.
Like I said, we will go ahead and
sounds
pull
like he's
this
from
up for you guys right
Northeast
now.
Ohio.
Let's
with
do
that
the
accent.
Fed balance sheet. Bear with me for 1 second. I look at this all the time because I like to pay attention to exactly what's going on.
Because it makes me hard.
I could tell you this off the top of my hand, but just in case you guys want a visual reference here, right, from 2007 up until the Fed started to just print massive amounts of money, the balance sheet was only about $800 $80 billion, roughly. Very, very small. Now it's sitting at $9 trillion, so it's 10x since 2008. But what happened in here? 2018, 2019, when this crash happened in the markets, well, the balance sheet actually started to come down from about 4.5.
But which came first, the chicken or the egg? Which came first? I honestly don't know, but that's a question I have here. Hopefully he'll address it.
$1 trillion, down to the lowest point at about $3.75 trillion.
Wow,
so not even
down.
A big move down, and the markets took about a 25% nosedive. Was not a good situation. Well, look at the balance sheet now. If the Fed wants to bring the balance sheet back down to even close to the levels where we were at last time, the markets don't know what that will bring. And as history has showed us, 2018, 2019 was not a good reaction. So if you're thinking about bringing the balance sheet back down to maybe $6 trillion or $5.5 trillion, that's a big drop. What's that going to do for the markets? Because the Fed really helps to and manages the shorter end of the curve. So if you start to see the Fed selling out assets or letting them run off or doing both, you're going to make interest rates go way up and you're going to restrict capital in a very substantial amount. But the markets don't know exactly what to expect. The markets are used to rate hike increases. So we know exactly what will happen if the Fed raises rates 0.25% or 0.5% at any given meeting, or if they raise them 10 times in a year. We know what to expect. We know what the cost of capital will be. We don't know what will happen when the Fed does start to massively reduce its balance sheet. That's why every time you hear the Fed say anything about the balance sheet, the markets do sell off. So keep that in mind. That is hawkishness that we have not heard yet. Reducing the balance sheet as soon as next month.
God, how many times is he going to say balance sheet?
Heard that yet, and it sounds like he's saying they're going to try and sell these assets. Nonetheless, we do.
All right.
Right, and that doesn't look very likely. God willing, knock on wood here. Hopefully that is wood. But nonetheless, it's huge. So once that ends, that's going to be bullish. But if the Fed is now reducing the balance sheet,
God,
there was like an alien invasion or another, Ebola type pandemic, right? And that doesn't look very likely. God willing,
How do you know that? We're dumb. We can make anything happen.
And we know what was said for the most part. That's kind of what this is, and you're going to get a lot more clarity.
God, it's only halfway through this video.
How they plan to do that at the last FOMC meeting, and that's why the markets really did rally. There was no Fed balance sheet runoff.
Balance sheet. I keep going straight to it.
Markets a lot, and that's going to affect AMC, whether it is positively or negatively. And it looks like this week, might set up with a lot of uncertainty and potential fear. So I would be very mindful of that. But really, the fear.
Isn't that like every week? It's like every week.
Start until Wednesday. So I think on Monday or Tuesday, it is likely that you will see a decent size bounce to the upside. Now, probably, one red day, one green day. Really hard to tell, but you're going to get a lot of back and forth when it does come to AMC stock. And I wouldn't be surprised if Monday we do bounce up to
back and forth.
$25, $26, come back down to, $25, $25 right here. Where this line is drawn,
or
and then make that
it'll
move.
Just slam down Monday, or it'll just go down. Could do that too.
To the upside, believe it or not, the more hawkish the Fed actually is, the better it could be for AMC stock because.
Okay. Yeah. There's more of that. More of that negative beta. Do you think this guy graduated high school? I don't know. I mean, he certainly has trouble reading. So there's that. But I mean, he's at the short end of Dunning-Kruger for sure. I try not to talk about things I don't understand. Maybe a GED, yeah, I don't know. I mean, it doesn't, and the thing is, that really doesn't affect anybody's knowledge of finance or economics at all, because you don't really learn that stuff in high school. At least I didn't. We didn't have anything like that. But you know, there is a lot of, like, I don't know. I mean, this is all I can see back here is a sign. It looks like it says free beer tomorrow. That's what I'm thinking it says. Free beer tomorrow. Or, you know, topless bartenders next week.
The more the Fed raises rates, the more the Fed reduces the balance sheet and starts to sell assets. It makes it
harder. And he has a kid. This guy has kids. He has at least one kid. Because I forget, Lynn knows, I think, the baby's name or the kid's name or whatever, and it's something weird. Because we talked about it in here once. But, you know, it's... This is the, you know, the future is in his hands. I don't have kids. Shit. I can, you know, really, you know, don't want to be responsible for that. I just hope the kid is not his. Nice. Yeah, it's never just supply and demand, right?
And more expensive for shorts to hold on to these short positions.
Because if there's one thing that we know, it's that they really care about how much it costs to borrow the stock. You know, because they're losing money otherwise because the price keeps shooting up. I mean, come on.
Cost to borrow rates have went up across the board. With AMC stocks specifically and a lot of these other retail stocks, the cost to borrow rates can go insane on a very short notice. And every time the Fed raises rates or reduces the balance sheet, the margin rates actually go up just to have margin debt in your portfolio. So a lot of different factors that are working against the hedge funds when it comes down to the Fed, you know.
Yeah, not really, but
what they're trying to do here. So just keep all of that in mind. It's not necessarily instantly going to translate into a bullish thing for AMC. It might take a little bit of time for the markets to finally realize. The markets sometimes can be pretty slow realizing what's going on around them. You know, I've been calling out a recession for the past 6 months. And what's everybody talking about now? A goddamn recession. So let's talk about exactly what I expect by the end of the week.
When everybody's talking about something, does that mean that that's probably what's actually happening? I mean, come on. This is contrarianism 101. That's what this is. Everybody's saying X. Is X actually going to happen? Who knows? But generally speaking, the more people think they know, the more people are sure of something like this, the opposite fucking way that it goes. Usually, a lot of the time. Sell me this pen. What is Lynn? Oh, okay, this, yeah. Is that Dan Locke? I've seen Dan Locke do a sell me this pen video before, but over in Telegram chat. That was from
week. Now this trend line right here, we found a lot of support. We did close slightly under that at about $23.30 per share, down about 32 cents here in after hours, so $22.
But you know, the apes won on Friday. The apes did win on Friday because they beat Max Payne. They closed over 23. Yep. And yeah, he called for a recession. The one that called for a recession. That's fucked up. I mean, you've already, yeah, that's, I don't know. You know, I was driving home earlier and I was thinking, there is these, like, and I'm not even talking about in the ape community. I'm just talking about in the influencers, like this guy and all these other, wherever they are, close the tab, all the other people that come up in the search results. The narcissism is so far off the motherfucking charts. It's actually, I was in the car, I was by myself, I was just driving, and I was thinking about it, and you have to, like, pause and take note of how, like, this is how much narcissism and entitlement there are among these people. And that's not even talking about the actual, all of the rank and file people who believe they're going to get rich by holding one or two stocks that, you know, because they believe in this narrative. I'm just talking about the influencers. It's really crazy. It's really crazy. Yeah, you can't imagine a world with 4,000 millionaires, 4,000 new millionaires that know, you know, it's scary. And we've been saying that for a long time. Like, you're going to see, yeah, it's a fantasy.
98 cents per share. We're still very close to this level, and as long as we stay above $21 per share, I think we're going to be good. Now, I want to set another range here. I do think it's going to be bullish, and I do think we will make a move to the upside, but I don't know exactly how high we are likely to go, and I don't know if AMC is going to announce some surprise catalyst that
like
would
the 6 companies they're investing in, the 6 distressed companies maybe, like that. That'll send the share price skyrocketing probably. Let's use the $2 billion that we have to buy other shitty companies. That's a good idea. Really good idea. I mean, fundamentally speaking, it's pretty sound, actually.
But I would expect the range to really be in between about $26 per share and about $30 per share. I do think you will see a couple dollar move to the upside at the bare minimum, just based in part. Like, look at the move we have seen. All of these green candles, 160% gain from about $13
to me that would imply that you're going to come down more, actually, but okay,
up to about $34 per share. And we've had a lot of consecutive red days here, guys. Just take it in for a second. Down 5.44% Friday. On Thursday, down 4.05%. On Wednesday, down 12.77%. So we've given back some of those gains that we have seen. Almost all of this 45% positive day that we did have. So inevitably, stocks don't just go up.
So
they don't.
What do you think that 45%? Was it really 45? Yeah, I guess it was. What do you think that was? Like, what do these guys think that caused this? Like, randomly one day, a bunch of retail investors decide to buy the stock. Like, what is the explanation for that they're giving? I don't know that I've even heard it. They're just so happy about it, and then it just drizzles down, and they're like, "Well, you know, we've gave back some of those gains." But what are those gains anyway? Oh well, Ortex says that they're not covering. Ortex says the shorts aren't covering.
Just go down. You're likely to see a bounce, and I think that's pretty much common sense here. How high
common
or how
sense
explosive? That's the real question here. That I
thought creativity was your thing, not common sense. Come on now. All right.
Cannot answer, but I do think in between $26 and $30 per share is a very reasonable price target by the end of this week. Anything can happen. We could have a really bad catalyst come out, really bad news come out, or we could have great news that comes out and we could go much higher than that. So that's really my baseline.
Well, you could also have good news that comes out and the stock could go down. Don't you know that? You know that. You know all about that. Yeah. It's not necessarily reflective of that.
If we go higher than that, obviously I'm happy with that. If we come down and shorts have not covered, then nothing has changed. I mean, AMC still has the same core values of AMC. Why we like this trade, everybody knows. Then, and we could go much higher than that. So that's really my baseline expectation. If we go higher than that, obviously I'm happy with that. If we come down and shorts have not covered, then nothing has changed. I mean, AMC still has the same core values of AMC. Why we like this trade, everybody knows about it. There's FOMO that is basically like a.
And the thing about what Ziggy's saying, they believe movie theaters can't go out of business. If if they know, if they believe that they are in, a business model that is bulletproof, right? Why not just pay off the debt? Why not use that money, all the capital you've raised, to pay off the debt and move forward? Instead, you're getting involved with all these shady deals. It's weird. It's weird. I don't know. Doesn't make sense to me. I don't think it's that great, but I mean, and yeah, and theater staying in business would not be the reason for the MOAS like that. But see, that's where they start, because there's really nothing else to talk about. So you have technical analysis, fundamental analysis, and MOAS, right? And mostly they're wrong about the technical analysis. Just say, most of the time when they have a bullish flag, they just have to move the line because it goes down. MOAS, we all know what they say, it's not substantiated with facts at all, but they already believe that there are billions of synthetic shares, so there's not much more to talk about there. It's just you have to wait. You have to wait for them to cover these shares, which, okay. But when they start sprinkling in the fundamentals, that's the weird, that's like, it's like, okay, so you want to have your cake and eat it too whenever you want to. That's not, that, it's just kitchen sink, It's a kitchen sink. You got to pull out everything you can to keep people engaged in this. But, I mean, it seems like probably going to have theaters. They're probably not going to go away. Probably see consolidation in the industry. Maybe one or maybe two national operators of theaters, and will it be AMC? Who knows? Does it matter? Not really to me. Don't really care. I don't want to see movie theaters go away, but I don't care whose name's on the outside of it. That's just me personally. I don't, and do I want an NFT of the movie theater? No, don't care. That's meaningless. So, synthetic price failures. I forgot about those synthetic price failures. Jesus Christ, synthetic price failures. I forgot all about that. But see, the other part of it is that the apes think that the point of shorting the stock is to make it go out of business. Like the hedge funds, the hedgies want to drive AMC out of business. And that doesn't really make sense either to me. Why would that be the case? Why, hedge fund hedgies don't like movies? They just don't like anything. They want everything to go out of business because then they would, then they wouldn't have stocks to go long. It makes no sense. It makes no sense whatsoever. So I agree with everything that people are saying here, but they believe that the movie theaters can never go out of business, which they certainly could go out of business, or there could be consolidation in the industry. But also, the whole notion that hedge funds want to, take a company that actually is quote unquote producing a product. They are putting something out that people can give their money for. There is an exchange of goods or services, and that does function. That they want to drive that out of business, that's brain dead. Okay, that's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. And yes, of course, if the company goes out of business, they don't have to pay blah blah blah. But that's what you do with penny stocks. That's what happens with those penny stocks. Clearly you're talking about. I just don't see. And that's that type of predatory shorts. That's a whole different thing. The short thesis on AMC was solid. The short thesis was fucking solid. It was bulletproof up until last year. So, I mean, it's like that whole part of it gets forgotten. Yeah, they literally locked the doors to all their theaters. So, if you're trading something, you see the stock price collapse, and that's what happened. But there are always going to be short interest in stocks. You know, there's never going to be a point when there's zero short interest. There's short interest in Apple right now. There's short interest in everything, because that's how it works. It's not, and what I'm trying to get at is it's not about driving the company out of business. It's just not. In some cases it has been, yes, but that's not what we're talking about here. And that's the other thing that is interesting is if they didn't get the pandemic, they would have been bankrupt. So having to close for the pandemic, ironically, may have saved the business, that's an interesting twist on it. But, but before that, they were consistently losing more and more money. So all this talk about fundamentals, let's bring it back to what I was trying to say. All this talk about fundamentals is like, okay, that's fine, but nobody is presenting a case that brings AMC back, any further up than they were before the pandemic. Like, nothing has really changed fundamentally in that regard. Yeah, you have NFTs, and yeah, you can, why you would want to pay for your movie ticket with crypto through a third-party payment acceptance company. But it's like Aron knows, it's almost like he knows that they're fucked. And why not, throw some money around? I don't know. It doesn't make sense. It's weird. It's weird as fuck. I don't get it. Yeah. But I don't think that, just, in summary, the notion that short selling is all about driving companies out of business, like Trey would like to say, short companies into the ground. They like to short companies into the ground. Yeah, maybe the stock price was overvalued. Maybe it was. Maybe it is. But you can tell by how long the stock stayed above $60, $70, that ain't where it's supposed to be. It's just clearly not. I mean, this damn thing can't even get up to 30 again. So, I don't know, man. This is crazy.
Like a hose for a spigot, right? Or your sink. It's like it's closed 1 second, and then when it opens up, it just flows through, right? There's no lag between there. That's exactly how you could imagine the momentum with AMC. It's still in there. The water is still in the pipe. The momentum is still there, but it has to be open.
I think there's something else.
It can be closed.
There's something else in their pipes, if you catch what I mean. There's something else in their pipes.
Made some sense.
Like something that makes them crazy after they, yeah.
With you guys, it makes perfect sense to me, but you have that big aspect.
That's not how it
and
works,
as long as the
though.
shorts have not covered, the trade is still very much intact, and it's even better because the business has been getting better. So it's like your worst case scenario keeps getting pushed up a little bit more.
See?
Now, let's talk about
he's got the trifecta of grifting here. He's got the MOAS, shorts have not covered. He's got the technical analysis, the chart. Oh, it looks like it's going to bounce. And he's got the fundamentals. He's got all three. Wow. I mean, I'm just here speechless. Sounds like AMC is the way to go.
Friday as well, and last week in general, we seen 733 orders totaling $944.8 million. Positive order value of 75%. And a lot of this activity is for the April 1st expiration, as well as the April 8th expiration and the April 14th expiration. So it looks like a lot of institutions are bullish on the next couple of weeks for AMC's stock. Now on top of that, just on Friday alone, you did see 33 orders totaling $15.01 million. Positive order value of 55%. Now, as far as the short interest, you're looking at 20.7%. So it's actually went up.
Wow.
You know, shorts have not covered at all.
It's gone up. I mean, no, not really. Almost back to 21. Almost back to 21. Almost back to 21. Touching 21 again. That was 5 days ago. No, not up. Not really up.
To see that big rally, shorts have not covered. I think that is a very, very positive sign overall. We are looking at shares.
Yeah, 3.5 million returned shares on Friday. 5 million borrowed. Yeah, those 3 million. I mean, in my opinion, clearly that's low. That's a low number. Like, it should be way more. The reality is probably way higher. I don't have any proof of that, but based on the price action and stuff, and this reflects Wednesday too. So, you know, whatever happens tomorrow would reflect Thursday. Last Thursday. But these shares, return shares, those are closed short positions. Those are short positions that have been bought to cover, have been closed, done. Now, they might have opened a new position, yes. But nevertheless, that transaction is done. That's the only way that a share can be returned once it's been shorted. So, I don't know if we're going to hear that from him or not.
That are currently sold short of 106.68 million. Cost to borrow max of 5.84%. And the utilization of 100%, as well as days cover sitting at 2.44. And as far as the max pain, run through this data just briefly. For April 8th, that will be this Friday. Max pain is sitting at $22 per share. Now, I'm not a fortune teller here. I don't know if that's what is going to happen. Doesn't look like the data does support that. If we do come down to 22, I would expect a lot more pain and volatility in the markets as well. So be very vigilant of that. If you're going to lose on AMC, maybe you want to hedge out your position using, puts or spreads or verticals or butterflies or anything else really. And, not a recommendation there. Just a simple thought. Now, nonetheless, if you guys want to come join the trading community, come ask all of your questions, get the insight.
Man, God, these guys are. I know I couldn't think of I couldn't think of a worse idea than to listen to what they're talking about in terms of options. Like, that is quite possibly the stupidest thing one could do. Listen to those guys talking about option trading. It is ridiculous. The apes have won. Look, being coddled. The apes have won. All right, this is the last video I'm going to watch.
What's going on, apes? Welcome
and it's
back
Clay. It's Clay. Then I'll check out the futures one more time, and then I'm going to get the hell off here.
Finance news. Thank you so much.
I got stuff to do before work tomorrow. I did get my laundry done yesterday, though.
For joining us today and for your support. Clay here with a wild AMC update. Despite the hedge fund's best efforts, the apes keep winning the month. Be sure to stick around, but before I get into it, please click that thumbs up button and subscribe to the channel. Guys, I have some big news. Our sponsor Mumu is now giving away 2 free stocks worth.
Oh my God.
Guys, check this out. Perfect Bit tweets, apes are winning. Month to date, AMC up 27%, GameStop up 37%.
But you didn't take your profits. Which is probably not true based on the numbers I've seen with buys versus sells. But anyway, these hardcore apes, they don't sell. They're not going to sell for $25. Are you crazy? Yeah, I am, I guess.
After allowing the price to run nearly 50% at the start of the week, the hedge funds...
Listen to the way they talk to allowing the price to run. If you think like that, I mean, oh my God. That's not the right way to think about it. It's not the right way to think about it. But, wow, okay.
Spent the second half of the last week of March doing everything they could to drive us down. This clearly manipulative tactic is nothing new.
Clearly.
Hype up the apes and then try to crush their souls by bringing the price down. However, what the hedge funds have clearly neglected is, well, math. AMC is up 27% during the month of March and over 13% week over week. After the stock split announcement that somehow decoupled GameStop and AMC, GameStop is up 37% in the month of March and 9% week
How is
over
that?
week.
How did they get decoupled? They both went up. The fuck is he saying?
We need to remember that GameStop was hammered after their earnings call, just like we saw with AMC. However, with a waning balance sheet and weakening position evidenced by the lack of pre-market activity, we can be sure that the apes are continuing to win. A Golden Goat posts, words of encouragement from a little ape.
God, this
I've finally been lurking here for a year, and I see and hear more and more apes getting frustrated at this tomfoolery we see on a daily basis. For many of us, this is our only hope to financial freedom. I am only speaking for myself, but in my case...
No, it's not. Oh my God, listen to that. Listen to this. For many of us, this is our only hope to financial freedom. You will never get fucking shit if that's your ad. Oh my God. This is quite possibly, I mean, I just have to, when I see posts like this, I just think to myself, it's easier for me to think that it's a shill. So I don't want to believe that people would actually post this. I know in my heart of hearts, though, that it's probably not, but it could be a shill, could be a paid post by, somebody trying to, seed these, sow these seeds of doubt and everything, like get people to latch onto it even more. I don't know. There's never any proof of that, but this is for many of us, this is our only hope to financial freedom. Oh my God. Oh my God, this is so ridiculous. Like, I cannot, it's so hard for me to believe that this is real. It really is. Oh my God.
It's getting frustrated at this tomfoolery we see on a daily basis. For many of us, this is our only hope to financial freedom. I am only speaking for myself, but in my case, it's an all or nothing ordeal.
All or nothing
I've
ordeal.
put what I'm willing to lose in, and if it's all for nothing, I've learned a lot for what I've lost. The biggest thing I've taken away from this journey is how rigged and corrupt our system is. In fact, I continue to hoard my shares now, just in spite of these fun little games. It's important to not give up hope in something you truly believe in. Who knows? That belief may just manifest into reality. The DD has been done.
I mean, so you're saying this is your only hope to financial freedom, which means you're an idiot, okay? It means that you're a fucking moron. And then you're saying it's important not to give up hope in something you truly believe in. Why would anybody listen to advice from such a fucking moron? Seriously. Now, obviously it's important to have hope and it's to believe in things and all that. Yes. But that's not what makes beliefs just magically manifest into reality. That's not how it works. This is magical thinking if I've ever seen it. This is ridiculous.
Done, and we now have
the DD is never done. That's another thing. Things always change. The DD is done. That sounds like something a hedgie would tell you, so that they can change what they're doing and keep you believing whatever you believed last January is still in effect. That's ridiculous. The DD is never fucking done. Never.
To not give up hope in something you truly believe in. Who knows? That belief may just manifest into reality.
God.
The DD has been done, and we now have a strong community that helps pick each other up when an ape falls down. That's pretty cool. You have shown me that there's a lot of good people out there that deserve much more than our system has given them. We will have our day in the sun one day.
The system doesn't give you anything. The system doesn't give people things. This is entitlement 101 here today, too.
Don't sweat these things. Instead, look back and laugh and remember all the emotional stuff you've been through. All right, I'm done with my little speech. Stay strong, Enjoy the time you have with your loved ones.
Why did you skip drink some beer? God, Clay is such a fucking Ned Flanders.
Might I say, I haven't heard the word tomfoolery used in quite some time, and I'm here for it. Sometimes we all need to take a minute to step back and remember why we all continue to hold. The first reason is obvious. We all love the stock and will continue to love AMC until our dying.
All right, I just looked it up here. The AMC, closest AMC to me, an adult movie ticket is $8.74 if you buy it on Fandango. $8.75. So, $8.75. It's been so long since I've, and yeah, my ex-wife used to get tickets from her employer, so I couldn't tell you the last time I paid for a movie, but anyway.
Brats. But this movement has become so much more than that. We are creating a fair and equitable market for everyone.
Listen to this. No, you're not.
Bringing into the limelight Wall Street crime and greed, and working together so that all of our fellow apes, from 1x to 5x shares held, are enriched with life-changing money when MOAS happens. I will be the first to admit,
snake oil
this
salesman.
has been a rough couple of years for everyone. And just when we thought things were getting better, we got hit with rising prices and rampant inflation. So, as we all fight to make our
life-changing because we thought
candies,
that we didn't think that there'd be any consequences for, you know, everything. Yeah, I expected it to be way worse, way sooner, and I was surprised that it wasn't. So this is like, you know, it's not really that much of a surprise, but that's just me.
We are not alone.
Clearly, I'm the perma bear.
Charles Payne tweets, breaking news.
Oh!
March jobs report, 431,000. February revised 750,000. Hourly wages are plus 0.4%. Month over month plus 5.6%. Year over year below inflation.
Well,
participation
no
rates and employment to population still below pre-pandemic level. The admin will brag about black unemployment rate, 11,000 left labor pool, grade C+. While the entire world braces for what is to come, the apes are taking a stand and creating a world that will ultimately be a more equitable place.
Listen to fucking Clay sucking his own dick. Go fuck yourself, man. We're creating a more... You're not doing shit. You're leading people to fucking financial ruin. If we're being honest here. You are teaching people the wrong fucking shit. You are misleading people.
Grade C+. While the entire world braces for what is to come, the apes are taking a stand and creating a world that will ultimately be a more equitable place. And while these...
Yeah, it'll be a more equitable place without you motherfuckers in it. Just fucking leave the market. It's just a bunch of noise that will go away. Yes, you are actively creating that because your exit from the market, which is inevitable, will reduce the noise. It will. So he's actually right. He's actually right.
These things take time. We can be proud of all
the time to lose all your money
we've had so far. We've exposed congressional trading patterns, market manipulation, dark pool abuse, the issues with algorithmic trading, and triggered a Department of Justice investigation and whistleblower settlements from the DD we've given to regulatory agencies. Remember, an ape was awarded $40 million for whistleblowing against one of these hedge funds. So while the hedge funds will try to tug at our heartstrings, I will do the same in the opposite direction. Because apes, we are absolutely unstoppable, and none of us are leaving. Well, that's it for this video. As always, please make sure to go down to the bottom.
Yeah. So Ziggy says some dude from his job last August dropped $20K of savings into AMC. He couldn't get in before $30. He was using Robinhood. His reason MOAS is coming? Yeah, that would be a reason. That would be, you know, if you have that much money on the line, it's going to influence you, right? You can't be objective, especially when you're being told and you have people in the mainstream media. I mean, this is nothing new. This is just a right-wing idiot bitching about the liberals you know, blaming this on Joe Biden or whatever, you know, and in reality, it's one rich guy who, you know, regardless of anything else, he's a have. He has wealth, you know, and he's sitting here, you know, making this fake outrage toward the administration, when in reality, people like Charles Payne always benefit. They always benefit from no matter who is in office, because that's the way our system is. So it's better just to ignore this stuff. Don't get sucked into the partisan politic nonsense. You know, and unfortunately, you know, like the guy with the $20,000 in AMC, I mean, that's sad. I wonder how, if, you know, okay, so Robinhood, so maybe not an experienced investor, so bought into the narrative, you know, and it doesn't give me pleasure to really, at the end of the day, I don't want to see people lose money. I don't. That would be cruel. I'm not cruel. I'm realistic. I try to be realistic. I want to see the receipts. I want to see the evidence. And if there aren't any, then I'm going to call you out on it. That's the point. That's what people like Joey from the other night, he doesn't even know. He admitted he doesn't watch my channel. He didn't watch the live stream. He just came on here and started insulting me personally. So I don't feel any regrets about, you know, how we handled that guy. That's ridiculous. Come in here, call somebody a name. You've never actually watched my content. Okay. But I'm telling people to sell AMC. No, I'm not. I've never said what people should do. I'm just looking for where the facts are, which way do they point. And it's not my fault that all the facts point the way that the apes do not want it to point. That's not my fault. That's not my problem. Not my problem. So a word to the wise, if you're going to come in here, you know, and quote unquote debate me, which nobody ever wants to, that was the first time, but at least familiarize yourself with what we're talking about and what we do, because it just devolves into ad hominem attacks and personal insults, and that just strengthens my point that this is just a big circle jerk. Big circle jerk. Yeah, I don't think a rocket scientist would fall for this either. Which is funny. That's funny because, you know, a lot of at least last year, you know, Elon Musk was a potential catalyst, and I mean, he's not really a rocket scientist, but, you know, something has something related to, you know, space exploration. He was supposedly a catalyst at one point. Well, that didn't really work out, and I'm thinking to myself, yeah, does he actually believe? No, of course not. That's ridiculous. Just like in poker and investing, keep emotions out the door. That's right. And that's why just the name of the channel, Trading with Emotions, to me, is like, I can tell right now that you're probably an idiot. I'm sorry. Like, I don't even where it went. I don't know. It disappeared on me. Trading with Emotions, that channel. Terrible name. Terrible name for a channel. Yeah, you don't want emotions. You want to be unemotional, like a machine. And what can machines do? They can discern facts. That's why it's important to know the facts. I mean, this is basic. Like, I'm not saying anything really. I really never say anything. Like, this is so fundamental. Like, you should be able to demand proof for everything. And maybe there's a few exceptions here and there, but, or maybe you just kind of, you know, once in a while you just have a feeling. I understand that, but you can't be, you cannot be this sloppy. You can't be this willing to believe what somebody on Reddit says. I mean, I saw this. I was looking at Super Stonk earlier, and man, I mean, I don't know. I used to think, I mean, I don't know, I go back and forth in my head, but they're all delusional. But you know, it's just, you know, Ryan Cohen, killer of the shorts. Tesla plus overstock equals GME MOAS. Jesus. There you go. You know, Tesla, overstock, they're the key. They're the catalyst now. They are definitely the catalyst. How does that even make, I posted that one in the Telegram chat earlier. It's like, if somebody wants to read this and figure it out, I don't think, I like my brain cells, but yeah, just imagine that. Tesla and overstock. Makes sense. Makes sense. Ken Griffin has ties to Russian oligarchs. How are these people not being taken down for libel? Or defamation? It took me a second. Defamation. How are you not defaming somebody? I guess you can if it's true. You can if it's true. So maybe he does. I don't know. But there's been so much misinformation and lies spread. Like, I don't know. And the whole computer share thing. Like, you think really that, I mean, I closed the tab, but according to Fidelity, about 53% of shares are owned, of AMC are owned by retail investors. And you can see on there 2 owners, institutional owners that own 100 million shares. So what do they care? What does it matter if you are quote unquote DRSing your 15 shares or whatever? 242 shares. So what? Doesn't matter. You got a real bad temper. I got another 70 shares. Great. Doesn't matter. Makes no difference. Like, you're too controlling. My chin is something. 2 shares. Great. You DRSing those 2 shares, that makes all the difference, man. All the difference. Wow. Fucking entitled little pricks. You're changing the world by wrapping yourself up with something like computer share. I mean, it's funny. Before last year, when everybody started talking about computer share, only posts I could find, because I was searching, but I wanted to search before the apes started talking about it. The only stuff, literally, the only stuff that I found on forums and whatnot about computer share was people bitching about computer share and trying to get out of computer share, trying to get their shares out of it. So it was hilarious. But, you know, now everybody's, and imagine computer share, they must be beside themselves with excitement. You know, whoever the fuck, I mean, it's probably a shill for them who, you know, came up with this DD. I don't know who the fuck it was or why, but I would be interested in looking at that connection. Oh boy, there's no shares available. Super stonk. The GameStop, okay. The GameStop apes. I think the GameStop apes and the AMC apes are equally as uninformed. But the GameStop apes, they have this extreme entitlement, and they are the bigger assholes by far. They are malicious. There are some nasty people in general, like, because they are elitist over AMC apes. Like, they think they know in their heart that they picked the right one, and they had the money to do it. You know, because GameStop was a more expensive stock. So AMC is the poor man's GameStop. You know, but they are just such you know, assholes, really. People like Joey. He sounds like more of a GameStop ape to me, honestly, but I don't know. Anyway, if you want to see some delusion, go over to fucking Superstonk. Go over to Superstonk. I mean, GameStop has Ryan Cohen, yeah, but I mean, what does that really mean? Like, has he really proven himself? Like, I don't know. Like, this quote-unquote stock split, to me, kind of shows that GameStop, they're playing the game. No pun intended. You know, that's manipulative to me. It happened at a very strategic time. They just came out with shit earnings. You know, and there was no catalyst. So that was really a brilliant move. Now, I guess you could say, okay, well, Scott, you're proving what Manuel's saying. Maybe, but I don't see that as necessarily as an asset. But, you know, I just my opinion. My opinion means that he can pump this a little longer. Exactly. Oh, so let's check out and see what happened. The market crashed yet. And then I'm going to be on my merry way, but I appreciate everybody being here. If you haven't hit the like button and you think that it should be liked, that would be cool. Or subscribe, or, you know, follow me on Twitter. There's one. At Scotty Finance. So the market's pretty much flat still. The S&P 500 futures down 0.12%, and Russell and NASDAQ all basically flat. We've got gold up 0.1%, but it looks like it's currently in a downtrend, so who knows, but it's up $2. And oil's down 0.7%, and natural gas is up almost 0.1%. So pretty flat, pretty uneventful. So we'll see what happens tomorrow, I guess, but it might not be such a great, I mean, you can always trade something, I guess, but, you know, I don't have a lot of time to do it anymore, and a lot of times I ended up not catching things at the right time because I'm busy at work and literally have my hands full, and or like I'm not in a position to be looking at my phone. So, you know, I think that I need concentration, so I can't really, unfortunately. It sucks. I guess I get home at 3, so sometimes I trade in the 3 o'clock hour, but I think we've already seen the bounce from the end of the Ukraine. I mean, yeah, it'll probably will, but I think we've already started to see that recovery from that conflict. But the supply chain issue should ease up, hopefully, as a result. So that's good. That would be good. But I'm not really expecting too much this week. I guess, I don't know. It's just every day it's something new, or it's the same thing, or it's like, yeah, no shit. Like, I'll wake up and look at my phone and be like, one of those notifications like, pre-market is down 500 points. Dow's down 500 points in pre-market because of, you know, inflation fears. It's like, well, no shit. It hasn't really changed. It has not changed. So is it really inflation fears? I don't know. And then the next day it'll be, oh, Dow futures are up 1,000 points in pre-market on good economic news. Oh, okay. But like, it's frustrating. Can't ever, I don't know. Japan to respond with new Russia sanctions. Cool. talking about explosions somewhere else here in Kherson. So I don't think we have the peace negotiations quite yet. Russia denies war crimes. Accuses Ukraine of staged footage. Saw that earlier. New COVID variants, possibly. China records over 13,000 new COVID-19 cases. This was yesterday. Shanghai is still locked down, I believe. No new deaths reported. Yeah, okay. I mean, who knows? That's a record high since the first wave of the pandemic. The situation is still, according to the Chinese CDC, they stated COVID-19 is still severe in China and that people should be ready for, quote, a long battle against the coronavirus. Good Lord. China's I mean, I don't... But meanwhile, in the United States, Meta no longer asks staff to get virus booster shots. So we're over it. We're totally over it. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter that it's still out there. It doesn't matter that countries that we depend on, you know, for most of our shit are dealing with it again. Now our American companies aren't even asking people to get boosters anymore. So clearly, you know, we've got it all figured out. Good Lord. Go capitalism, right? The real question is this. When MOAS? Anyway, I think that's about it. I'm going to check one more time to see if there's anything worth looking at here, but I don't think there is. Nope. All right. Y'all, enjoy the rest of your Sunday night. And, yeah. I'll check in probably in the middle of the week once things slow down, settle down, hopefully, unless there's an emergency. And I'll just go into Meet Kevin emergency live stream mode, right? But other than that, I will catch you guys later. Thanks, Manuel. See ya. Model 3 Dude, Bad Back, Ziggy. There was a new name in there I didn't recognize before. James. Lynn might be around somewhere. If I'm forgetting anybody, I apologize, but do appreciate you all. Have a good one.